go for Tolgar. I'm not going to say poor old Tolgar. Man, it's a friggin' mountain. Nothing poor about him. He doesn't need any sympathy.
Yes, I do.
Dude's the baddest friggin' monster in the campaign. He's got all stats out the wazoo. Alright, Tolgar, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's get it on. Okay.
No, let's fight.
Okay, so... Well, that's what I meant. Isn't that what that means? I guess
I don't know. Is that
Alrighty.
what your parents told you?
Sure. And there was a stork involved. Alright, so the first one comes running up to you. This is the guy, the brutish guy that was originally hacking away at Marcus Midgard a little earlier. So, we're going to go ahead. He comes running up with his move action, and he swings.
This is the most peaceful
This
music
is the guy
ever.
that has the mace.
Oh my goodness.
All right, yeah, this is the tension music.
Oh, you should get the Jaws music, man.
No, I'm fixing to change it
Music?
to this music.
Dun, dun,
Oh.
Okay, there we go.
Alrighty. Okay, here we go. Slash R1D20. Okay, he swings his mace with his right hand overhead, attempting to bring it hard down on Tolgar's cranium. A 17. What's your current AC, Tolgar?
18.
Oh, okay. At the last minute, Tolgar is able to pull his head to the side as the blow misses narrowly. Seeing this, the dwarf comes charging up with his stoic, stout his stoic, stout build, runs up with his axe in low and swings towards Tolgar's leg.
Or crotch.
No.
Unfortunately, as Tolgar dodged fast to to miss the mace, he seized his opportunity and brings in the axe. All right, Tolgar. You take a total of... Now, it would normally be 11 damage, but you are enraged, so you only take half of that.
Yay.
Rounded down or up?
Rounded down.
Alrighty. The fellow with the axe. As the other two are hacking away in there, but Tolgar seems to be standing his own, Midgard says to his other friend, "Don't just stand there. Get him! Get him!" As he comes charging over, reaching over top of the much shorter dwarf, and swings his huge axe.
Come on.
Ah!
Yes!
However, as he does so, the dwarf raises his shoulder and his arm catches the top of the dwarf's head, slowing his blow and making him miss. Midgard, with utter disgust, who is standing back, looking at this, you notice, seems to hesitate just a fraction. You feel that this man has clearly some serious combat prowess, but for some reason he's not diving straight in there.
Oh, jeez.
Loitering back there, he says, "You, get in here, now!" As the other fellow that had the twin rapiers is coming in. I don't think he can get to you this turn. We're going to see. He's coming from the doorway. That'll be 10, 20. He actually can.
Oh, man.
Okay, he can. He can make 30 feet.
Okay.
All right. He comes whisking round the side of his brutish fellow with both of his twin rapiers flying through the air as he does so. All right, the first rapier swipes. Oh! Ooh, that hurts just a tad, Tolgar.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm fine. Totally fine. That's so bad.
Okay.
I can't watch. I can't.
Okay, it hits you for 11 points of damage, but again, in your bear totem enraged form, you're only taking 50% because you have resistance. However, he still has another attack. The second
I'm dying.
rapier. Okay, with there being so many people around Tolgar, it's beginning to become a little bit of a difficult scenario for such a skilled duelist type person to wield his weapons with the skill and ease he is used to. As he clumsily just jabs out, but Tolgar manages to bat the blow aside with his axe. In utter disbelief, Midgard is like, "What are you doing? There's 4 of you! Jump on the man!" Okay, Tolgar, it is your turn. You have you have inspiration if you feel the need to use it. What does Tolgar wish to do? The tunnel is directly behind you.
Bring my axe up, and I disengage and flee.
Heroically
Into the
running
tunnel.
away. Okay, so Tolgar, basically, you gonna try to climb down there, or are you literally gonna just step into the box and drop?
Wait, that's an option, isn't it? Huh.
Well, you see, it is an option, but it's
different.
basically like when you go through the box, there's a hole underneath that goes down into the escape tunnel.
Okay.
So I guess what I'm asking, are you kind of like cautiously climbing in the box and then gonna wander down, make your way down the stairs, or are you literally gonna just jump straight in the box and go
I think
down?
I'd like to jump straight in and like somersault out of there.
Like, ta-da! Okay, in that case then, well, fortunately, it's not a long drop down to the stairs. But of course, you are falling in blind. So give me a dex check. If you get 10 or above, it's not going to be a problem for you.
You'll stub your little toe.
Don't forget to bend your knees.
Right? Okay.
22.
Yep. As you drop down through the open crate,
Oh, my cankles.
you feel the uneven steps below you as you initially stumble but dexterously manage to reacquire your footing. Okay, there is a tunnel directly ahead of you. Now, during that time, in order, Liv, were you waiting at all, or were you hightailing it through the tunnel as fast as your druidic legs would carry you? There is only room for one person abreast, and Tolgar, once you're down to the tunnel, you are definitely at a hunch. It's probably no more than about 4.5 to 5 foot tall.
Okay.
Liv probably would have been listening. She wouldn't have ran.
Okay. In that case, neither can Emlyn and neither can Lilith. So as you get down the tunnel, you take a few, basically after a few steps, you are faced with Emlyn, who is standing there,
Emlyn.
and then there's Lilith
Right.
behind him and Liv behind her, and they're kind of blocking the tunnel.
Okay. I'm gonna yell, "Run for it! They're coming!"
Okay?
You heard the barbarian go.
So we're running. I'm like,
Okay. As
Looking
you
it.
start running, you also hear a voice from somewhere upstairs. A different voice, though, than you've been used to. Let's see. I'm going to say... all of you will definitely hear this part, because it's going to be loud enough and echoey down the tunnel. You hear this... "You there! Stand where you are! What the hell's going on?" At which point you hear Midgard say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! We're not the bad guys here. We're after the bad guys, you fool!" Okay, if you want to hear anything beyond that, as you run down the corridor, give me a perception check.
How wide is the corridor?
It's like
not-
4 foot wide. This is a dug
Does it
tunnel.
look
This is not
it
like a nice...
dirt.
Yes, it's
Or
dirt.
rocks?
This is a roughshod tunnel.
I also
Alright.
want to move Hoots overhead, so he's kind of tracking us from above.
Okay.
Ouch.
So Emlyn, Dystrus, and Lilith. Really, it's down to see if Tolgar hears the rest of the conversation. He is at the back, so nope. Okay. So Dystrus and Tolgar, you hear a little piece of it as it fades into echo. You hear Midgard say, No, they're the town guards, you fools. Put your weapons down. This is not...
Ah, yes. yes.
Okay. All right. With that being the case, you continue to run or scuffle your way through the dirty, filthy tunnel below Kanduin. Surprisingly, it doesn't go that far, only about 100 or so feet, and then you come to a wooden, roughshod makeshift ladder that leads straight up. Liv, you have to pretty much act first because no one can do anything with you in the way.
Okay.
So what would Liv like to do?
I want to do a perception check to see what I hear, or listen to what I hear with my ears, not with my eyes.
Absolutely, yeah. Ouch!
I don't hear anything, guys. I think it's safe.
No.
This is what you hear. Emlyn going,
There's an asthma inhaler.
Yeah, Emily needs
What's wrong
one.
with you?
Right.
Reroll.
But
One. Okay.
she moves over because.
Well, hold on.
Right
No,
the ladder.
you do hear something.
Okay.
So as you listen, you feel like you're kind of listening to the top of the ladder. Everything is pretty much jet black. I don't think anybody brought a light source down here. So, Emlyn, you can see in darkness, but there's really nothing to see. It looks like the ladder goes up, and at the top of it is nothing more than planks of wood. Okay, as you get there, Dystrish, or Liv, you're listening quietly. You hear a strange kind of rustling sound. It sounds like there may be somebody up there, possibly waiting for you.
Okay. Guys, there's somebody up there possibly waiting for us. I hear rustling.
Do you think it could be the Thieves Guild?
I don't know. Can I scooch over so Tolgar can get in front of us?
There really isn't room. I mean,
Okay.
the only way you could do this is if everybody shuffles back and you lay flat down and let Tulgar kind of awkwardly step over between the gaps in your legs and arms, then it could happen. But everybody will have to do that because Tulgar's at the back.
What do you guys want to do? Go up? You want me to heal first? I'm down spells, but I can still heal you and me a little bit.
If that's
A
what we
bit
have
of
to
healing.
do.
Bit of healing and then bust out like we own the joint. I don't.
Bust out like we came in, yo!
It's the only choice I see. They're going to be behind us any minute now. Possibly. So,
Heal Emlyn, please, if you can live.
Heal myself first.
Aw.
He's wheezing
Damn
wheezing
right.
too much. It's annoying me.
He's wheezing.
Emlyn's so out of condition he couldn't even panically run 100 feet.
Lilith
Right.
like carried in the last click.
Ready?
I'm really just hurt. That's why I'm wheezing.
You know, he is down to like 5 hit points. He's pretty beat up.
Yeah,
All right.
Yes.
So you can go ahead and dump a heal on yourself?
I'm gonna heal Emlyn first, so I reach out and try to give me high five.
I'm right behind you.
Okay.
I let you.
Lilith's between you and her, but you can still kind of... Alrighty. Okay, so you are healed for
You're trying
6
to
points.
Reach around at Lilith, be like, "Hey, watch where you're putting the hand.
That's where those hands go, Emlyn.
That's not for free."
That,
Pay before you play, player.
watch where you put that horn.
Oh, we guys.
Big Mac
we got
Morses.
Hi.
Dock and
rated.
Row.
We got rated.
Dale's me.
Good.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Fractured Worlds.
Fractured Worlds. What's up, guys?
Welcome.
Woo!
Welcome to the show, Fractured Worlds.
Hey.
How you doing, guys? Good to see you all. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay. I'm gonna heal myself. Akora.
I got 9 points
Of
of
course you
natural
had the
magic
better
is
heal.
delivered to Liv.
Awesome.
I don't blame you for healing yourself more than that scummy damn tiefling anyway.
See, and
Totally.
I'm like,
What's up,
I feel
guys?
extra healed.
Thanks, John Sandman. Thank you, man.
Dude, very, very much appreciate that, man.
Very cool.
That's very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed. I almost
So,
like don't
so
want
are you
to.
guys gonna get on the ground?
Yeah, do you guys want to
Around
lay
the
down and
body.
let? Do you want to lay down and let a 260-pound barbarian walk all over you? That's the question.
I don't
can't
get
be
down for anything.
Oh, Prideful.
Totally. I'm not letting the fucking sweaty barbarian behind
Yeah,
me.
that was kind of
Alright.
a little reaction too.
Emlyn,
Can't
man.
be
It's for your own protection.
Let's try this out. I'm gonna try to. Can I do another perception check or no?
It seems to have gone quiet. You don't need to make another perception check.
Okay.
But it does seem to have quietened down now. You're not entirely
Right.
sure. Maybe, I mean, it's like maybe they're waiting for you. Maybe they're just lurking. Or maybe you imagine the whole damn thing. Who knows?
I'm changing my class into rogue and I'm sticking my mirror up there. Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna climb the ladder and try to move the boards on top.
alrighty. You clamber up the ladder. There is some resistance to the boards. They're not heavy, but it's like as you're pushing them, there's something definitely weighted. As they start to push and come apart, dirt begins to fall, and you're kind of covered your eyes and closing your mouth to stop fragments of dirt from falling all over you. Anybody that's directly below the ladder, you're seeing like dirt and small pebbles and stuff break through. Shortly afterwards, however, there's a glimpse of moonlight outside.
The moon is so comforting. Okay, and I move away some more dirt.
When all these followers, actually hit this bot, it's going to lose its mind, right?
Should we just mute it? Or?
So, no, we're not going to mute it. What I'm going to do is once it hits, we're going to take a pause so that we can do what we always do and thank everybody. So we're definitely not going to just play through this.
Yeah, the bot is inundated right now, isn't it?
And yes,
Can't handle.
just so you guys know, if you're all watching right now, when we hit 5,000, we are doing a giveaway. The giveaway, it won't be on this particular stream because we're going to announce it and stuff, but we got a giveaway after that is going to consist of a brand new player's handbook, a brand new Dungeon Master's Guide, a brand new monster manual, so there's all three of the core rulebooks, a critical hit D20 mug, we have some sets of dice, we have Howreroll mouse mat, and a whole bunch of other sundry stuff that is all going to be given away to one lucky viewer. Once we've broken that 5,000 mark, that's our gift to everybody. So all of you that are piling on tonight, we very much appreciate you. I don't even know if my bot can handle it because it hasn't said a damn thing. It's like, what do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, I think it died,
Yep,
guys.
somehow.
Lie down and take it, bot. Take it.
It got killed by the bounty hunters behind us. That's what
Right,
happened.
indeed.
Oh,
So, but John Sandman, thank you so very, very much. It is very kind of you. And if you guys are all just coming to Howreroll, if you haven't been here before, we invite you to stick around and hang out with us. Have some fun, enjoy the show. And I'm really hoping that it does go ahead and give me the list, because we have a thing, even though, you know, here on we like to thank every single follower, regardless. So I'm hoping my bot finally figures out how to actually calculate this many followers at one time. It may have just crapped its pants. DB, the dungeon raid is not on. No, I turned it off because of all the basically John Sandman very kindly just rated the show, so we're not gonna do that. Here they go. Okay, let's see. Roll to rest, thank you. Aura Knight 17.
Thanks.
Erratic Buddha.
Yeah, you better
thank
be
you.
sorry.
Erratic Buddha, there's a name for you. Marlo would have liked that one. TP Lifewire, thank you as well.
I could maybe catch like 5 Pokemon while you do this.
oh my gosh, right?
Joan,
Jane,
thank you for the follow.
No, just no.
But my
No.
phone's right here.
Grumptopus, thank you for the follow, bud.
Tolgar over Pokemon. Tolgar's actually a badass barbarian.
Cajun
Hey, I
Bob,
just
23.
survived
I hope Cajun,
5
Cajun, if you're in Louisiana, so am I. Snipes, thank you. Dagfish.
Oh, man.
You like dags? I like dags. Dagfish, thank you for the follow. Blue Fluffy Pegasus. That should be a thing instead of a pink fluffy unicorn. I think it's much cuter.
Better, yeah, totally.
Lemons are sour. They are. Thank you for the follow. McFeisty.
Guys.
Thank you for the follow, McFeisty.
I see. I like it.
Mysterious. thank you for the follow. That's a mysterious ass. Candy Bandit. Stay off my candy, dude. Faithless Soul, thank you. Olocast, thank you for the follow.
Bot versus
Ethan Allen, 200,000 million, whatever that number is. Thank you for the follow. Bill Dog, thank you as well for that follow.
Just so everyone knows, we usually go on a break every hour. We're on for 3 hours every Mondays and Thursdays.
Transformers,
We don't
thank you
use
for the follow.
this is a little exception because of the raid, but we usually would be still playing right now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We got a lot of people to thank, you know.
All right, thank all of you guys. That was the first round
Thank you,
anyway,
guys.
because it does it in chunks, as you know. So it's going to be doing a bunch more in a minute. All right, so we're going to carry on for just a little bit. Okay, so yes, Liv, you see the glints of moonlight shine down from the sky above, through the cracks in the floorboard or in the wooden boards, and through the dirt and twigs of the loose earth that's directly above you.
Okay, so I'm gonna move some over.
Okay. As you pull it out, from the outside, you probably look like a zombie crawling your way out of a grave.
I always wanted to be that.
Zombie hype! Okay, but to you, as you emerge, popping your head up and looking around, you are standing pretty much, maybe waist high on the ladder. You're in a small crop of about 3 trees. You can see the moonlight clearly. You can see out on the horizon for a very long way in front of you, and it looks like there's open plains. To the right, you can hear the cries of seagulls and the crashing of waves. So you know that the ocean, obviously Kanduin being a port city, is immediately to your right. That kind of gives you your bearings pretty much, because knowing that that was directly to the south, so, you ascertain that you're looking out eastward. Directly behind you, the massive reinforced wall, the 20-foot wall that surrounds the city of Kanduin can be seen. So clearly you have come underneath the wall and back up. Peering around, whatever that noise was, you can't see anything that was actually responsible for that noise.
Okay, I sense for Mr. Hoots, and I have him do like a circle above, and I'm like, guys, I'm pretty sure it's safe. You can come up now.
All right. Okay, Hoots, your familiar, begins to fly around you. He, however, sees what it was. Looking through Hoots' eyes, you can see what appears to be a couple of squirrels playing loosely in the tree as they're plucking acorns down.
Get those fuckers, Hoots! Give me a heart attack.
Okay, where do you want to pop out? Which side? To the left, to the right, under the tree? Show me where Liv goes as she crawls out of the tunnel.
She's gonna go over here.
Okay, so under the cover of night, you scooch out and move stealthily below the first tree. Alrighty, Lilith, you are next in line on the ladder. Alright, here come the others. So, Willow New, thank you for the follow. Rojalobo, thank you for the follow. Soaked in bleach. That sucks, but thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
At least you're clean, buddy. Truth, thank you for the follow. There we go. And John Sandman, thank you so much for setting up that little raid for us. Very much appreciate it. Very kind of you, my friend. And for everybody that come in and joined that raid, we appreciate you as well. All right, Lilith.
Lilith is gonna excavate. That makes no sense. She's gonna ascend.
Okay.
Excavate that ladder.
As you
Get
pop
it
up,
out of there.
you can see Liv crouched down underneath a tree to your left.
She's gonna pull herself up over the ground and just dust herself off a little bit. She's gonna step over to the side and. Where are we?
Alrighty. Where does she wish to go? Is she going to go over there with Liv or come to the other side? Show me where you're going.
She's gonna step kind of back over here.
Okay. All right. Next up, then. Emlyn, you horny little fellow, as you stick your head out through the top of the trees. Oh, he's a tiefling, guys. That's why.
And he's horny too. Let's be real.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
gonna
Touch the
emerge.
horns. No.
Oh, my eyes really itch. Dirt and dust or something. And I'm gonna go over here underneath this tree, just like fiddling with my eyes, like
Okay.
on the sides.
Finally, Tolgar, they've got out the damn way.
Yes. So I'll climb up, and once I'm out there, I see that they're all like standing there, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Start running
Which way?
straight.
Emily,
Who cares?"
Keep rubbing it like that. You're going to go blind.
Shut up. I'm okay.
Have
I'm
Hoot
gonna-
scout out the area, please.
Yeah, he's gonna have Hoot scout out the area, and also, do we want to cover the tunnel up so people can't get up where we just were?
Yes.
Well, from the top, once Tolgar moves out the way, we'll just move him over here. From the top, you can pretty much see this is exactly what's happened. There's wooden boards, and then grass turf has been kind of like laid on top of it. The way the roots had kind of started to settle, you get the impression that nobody has used this tunnel in at least a few weeks.
Okay, cool. So let's barricade the tunnel, Tolgar. I will
Are there
probably
any-
hurt myself.
Okay. Are there any like heavy excess branches lying around, or rocks, or something heavy?
There really isn't. No, I mean there's only these 4 trees that you can see. There's a few twigs and stuff like that, of course, that have fallen from the trees with age, but nothing that would be of any weight that could assist in stopping anybody coming up the way you did.
All right,
So,
let's hoots it out.
Yeah.
GTFO.
yep. I think we
All
should.
right. So the question
sprint.
is, which way do you want to go? Now, all of you know Kanduin, being the jewel in the south, is as far south as you can go without getting your feet wet. And the city of Korthan, which you guys have expressed more of a desire to head, is directly north. Now, of course, the road leaving Kanduin travels north, so there's a road northwards. However, it's open plains to the east, the city to the west, and the ocean directly south. What direction do you guys want to head?
Do we know the general direction of Korthan?
Yeah, north.
It's just north. Oh, did I just miss that? All right. North.
No.
Do we want to go by land, by boat? Do we want to take the scenic route, the direct route? Do we want to take the open plain route?
Yeah. Well, there's no way to get to Korthan by sea, that's for sure, because it's about 800
Good, I'm
miles
sick of
inland.
boats.
We are fugitives. Direct.
Stick to trees, also.
Yes,
the
even if we
trees.
have to
Open
take the
plain of
roundabout way.
Yeah. Open plain of nothing is not good for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
north.
it's a mile away.
Okay, well,
Yes.
so you guys want to go directly north, following the wall of the city?
Maybe northeast for a while.
Yeah, kind
guard?
of looking, as you're contemplating this, the small guard towers that you can see further along the wall give you possible reason to pause about walking straight past them.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
northeast.
Alrighty, so you guys are going to head off in a northeasterly direction. Alright. Okay. Stealthily as you can, I'm guessing, and quickly as you can, off you run across the open plains. Korthan is about 800 miles away. You are on foot.
Jesus.
You have no horses, no cart,
No provisions.
no
Not a
provisions.
single luxury.
And we're fugitives being chased by bounty hunters.
And
we're gonna
yes, in
win,
theory.
guys. We're okay.
The only
well, it looks
thing
like
that
we
you
need to
can
make
kind
another
of
stop.
Yeah, the only thing that you can kind of at least feel is somewhat of a comfort is at least the bounty hunters were stopped from coming directly down the tunnel after you by the city guards. Otherwise, it kind of is pretty obvious to you that an open battle would be happening right here and now out in the open, and that's not a thing that any of you in this current physical state would relish. But off you go. So you're all going to head...
Should have my bag, so I should be able to put on clothes.
Yeah, you can.
You're naked running along the plains. We're used to it.
Hey,
by
at least
now.
it's the early hours of the morning, and no one should be looking.
I mean, they might call you a witch. But...
And I do have some food, I believe. But
Yeah. You should definitely make sure as you run, you kind of elongate your steps and frolic a little bit. If you're going to do it naked, make it really count. All right. Okay. So off you travel. So yeah, it's as I said, the early wee hours of the morning. You probably have still several hours of darkness before daylight. What's the game plan?
We need to find a safe place to rest.
Well, let's put some distance between us and the city,
Yeah.
and then we can think about that.
Yes.
Okay. How many hours do you guys want to hoof it for?
3? I don't know.
Okay.
when
Until
when do-
Emily's wheezing is too annoying to...
Well, Emlyn is
going.
very weak and he's a sickly child. He's not going to run very far without aid. Fortunately, he's not very heavy.
I mean, yeah, you could probably just pick him up and put him over your shoulder.
How much
Hold
is it?
on.
Piggyback
Strength
ride.
check
Oh,
it. Come on, let's go.
Piggyback ride.
I'll use Mage Hand to like lift 5 pounds off of myself, just so I'm a little lighter. And Liv can do that too, right?
Yeah,
Just 2 Mage
so,
Hands like
there we go.
bolstering.
Yeah, that-
Oh my god.
okay, so
You're 10 pounds lighter. You got this.
so you're going to climb up on is the game plan that you're going to climb on Tolgar's back and get a piggyback ride?
Yes, it's awesome.
Piggyback to Corthine.
Hey, you should ask him and see what he says.
Hey, if it worked, all I know is that Sam did it for Frodo when they went on the trek to throw the damn ring in. Tolgar can do it for Emlyn.
Carry you.
No, we're just all running. Emlyn is just grinning and bearing it.
Okay. All right. Well, he definitely isn't going to make it anywhere near as long. For Tolgar, of course, being such a physical specimen and used to running across the open plains, it's very frustrating to have to stop every 10 or 15, 20 minutes because of the wheezing and the out of shape people behind you.
Okay,
Well, I'm just
fine
gonna
with that
constantly
stuff.
hand
Speak
him
for
some water.
yourself.
Oh, I'm talking about Emlyn. What exactly do you have for Constitution, Emlyn?
My Constitution is a beautiful, beautiful 13.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought.
I know. I'm hurt.
Yeah, I thought your Constitution was worse than that. Okay.
Yeah. No.
All right.
No. I was
Okay, so yeah,
playing the
you
intro.
managed to sustain a good, steady jog for a decent period of time. As you desired, with a few short breaks, you managed to get a good amount of distance between you and the walls of Kanduin before the sun breaks the horizon and begins to shed light on the situation. At a guess, you can still see Kanduin in the far distance, but you've definitely put a few miles between you and it. If it wasn't for the fact that it's so flat, you couldn't see Kanduin at all.
Okay.
Alright, so as day begins to break, you're still in the open plains. It is an incredibly open area here. There's no, other than periodically you find a few bushes, a few copse of trees, but you don't really find anything that you could consider solid shelter. Jack Van Boob,
This is
thanks for the
bad.
follow. Jack Van Bob.
I don't
You're gonna
like
find us in no time.
Do we just need to take watches?
Is it going
I
to
don't
matter?
think we can continue on like this. I don't see a forest in the distance at all.
I send Hoots 100 feet away to see if he sees anything.
Alright, he does not. It is open plains. The only thing that Hoot really finds of any interest in at all is a couple of field mice. But other than that, nothing at all.
they're just gonna leave Kanduin on horseback and outrun us, outpace us.
Right.
We need to get to a road, and then we need to get to a place that has some way that we can either hide or,
Well, pick a direction. It's as good as any other.
Well,
Well, we should-
at least you're not on the main road.
We should head north more than east, right? Because Corthan is.
Correct.
Isn't your garden near Corthan, and isn't that to the northwest more?
Yes.
So we should switch it up and start heading that way.
How much further do you think you can make it? Horned one.
I will be fine, whipped one.
Whipped one. Alrighty.
I don't like staying in the open fields.
I agree.
Risk it on the road. And I'm not just gonna shrug at this, like, I don't like this
I
idea.
guess. I
Liv?
have something I need to say.
Uh-oh.
Tolgar's fixing to try to be Killer Iceman. I don't know why it didn't like those emotes, but it was only the emoji emotes. For some reason it didn't like them. Sorry, buddy. It was the bot. You know how bots are. They're pigs.
I turn to Liv and say,
Liv.
Liv,
What's up, Tolgar? I got this. I'm ready for this.
Liv, you were probably right not
Oh my
raiding
God.
into that house. I think me and Emlyn have an apology to make, as I am one of plans, and that was a horrible plan. We escaped, yes, so I still do not call that a success. That's all I have to say.
I give Tolgar, like, the biggest fuck you face ever.
Well,
then
I'm just gonna burst out laughing.
And then I'm gonna say, I will admit that the plan that we came up with and executed was not ideal. I still don't think your plan would have been any better, though, Liv. So call it even, and I'm gonna hold out my hand tentatively.
You know what? As Tolgar, as everything goes, that's pretty
That's
good.
The best I'm
Apology?
gonna get. Kind of like looked at. It's gonna look at Ellen's hands. Make sure there's like no buzz, you know. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She shakes your hand. Okay.
Don't forget
We're
that
even.
shocking grasp incident. Just saying.
God dang it!
Shocking grasp, you're dead! No. It's now 2 to get. No, okay.
Oh, lightning!
But I'm not gonna apologize. But yes, it was a bad idea. We were desperate.
Moving forward, yes, let's have better
Better
ideas. Let's be smart.
Let's be smart. Let's not be complete dumbasses in the future. Oh my god. Alrighty. So do you guys want to make your... Are you saying you guys want to make your way to the road and travel along the northern road? Or...
Yeah, find somebody to hijack.
We really want to travel along in the open in the road. I mean, I can keep
Road
Hoots
is
100.
worse. Yeah.
Off
I
the
can
road.
keep Hoots 100 yards or 100 feet. 100 yards? 100 feet that way. So I mean, he could kind
I mean,
of.
yeah,
give
he
me-
can be... I mean, think about it this way. For Hoots, he has to be 100 feet away from you for you to keep communication. But an
Right.
owl 100 feet in the air can see an awful long way.
So he can watch the road while we kind of like mirror it, but we're not on the road, so we don't get. Yeah, we gotta.
Not a
scout.
bad idea. We can stay along this near the side of the road, follow the road without being on it.
Okay.
I agree.
How close to the road do you want to get?
Do you
Off
want
at
to?
distance.
Hobbit distance?
I was thinking that. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, you want to be close to the road, or just to where you
No,
can, like,
to
see
where
the
they
road
can't-
in the distance?
Yeah, to where if someone was on the road, they couldn't tell that we were right there. You know, like far enough to where they can't see us.
Okay, so far enough that if you
don't
have
know.
to suddenly, if you start seeing
If
someone,
we-
you could, like,
yeah.
lay flat and hope that they would not notice
Yes.
you. Okay, I'm with you. Good, gotcha. All right. Makes sense to me.
Good idea.
Okay, so
You know.
you
Like an
continue
Old timey
on
show.
in a northwardly direction. So is that the game plan? Anytime Hoots sees anybody coming along the road, you guys want to hit the deck to avoid being seen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alrighty. Well, of course, northward as you travel, nobody really coming from the northwards direction would possibly be looking for you anyway. Of course, there's always that fear that a group of horses is going to suddenly break out of Kanduin and start galloping along the road looking for a group of fugitives. unfortunately, you managed to travel the best part of the rest of the day without that being the case. So you continue to kind of make your way as quickly as you can, making short, like short sprints, jogs, resting when you have to, but making as much distance and getting as much gap between you and Corthan as you possibly can. Many more hours pass. You've come across nothing. You're still heading in that direction. Corthan now is a distant memory behind you. You can't even see it. You can't even see the coastline.
Did we short rest?
You haven't yet, but you can if you wish. I was about to say, by now you're all pretty worn down and tired. Even Tulgar, physically he may not be exhausted, but it's been a rough couple of days. Mentally, even Tulgar is starting to look, his eyes are lagging a lot more. The creases in his forehead are deeper than they normally are, and his shoulders, instead of this stoic position, are more slumped.
Never.
Yeah, no, I will probably short rest.
Alright, so you guys want to take you basically want to take a break for an hour?
Yes.
Alright.
Short rest? Okay.
What's the, did we really come up with a homebrew heal rules for a short rest?
Yeah.
Because I know the long rest, but it's not that much, right? It's like...
It was, for the short rest was, we did 5% plus con bonus.
Okay.
But math.
That's what I'm thinking, Jane.
Where's my
Math is hard.
calculator?
Yeah, just so you guys watching, because we try to keep a very high level tension kind of stream, we homebrewed the long rest and short rest mechanic a little bit to make it a little bit more kind of in line with realism. So we kind of modified it a little bit. The homebrew rule is a long rest is 20% of your hit points plus your con bonus. A short rest is 5% plus your con bonus.
Yeah, I got 3 beautiful health back.
Not bad for just sitting down for an hour. Alrighty. You all break. I mean, it definitely helps revitalize your batteries a little bit. I mean, you're clearly going to need to sleep at some point, but you can push on further.
You said it was 5%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm mathulating. Hold on.
You need a calculator? I got one for you. Just tell me what to type in.
Oh God.
It ain't much. It ain't much at low level. There you go.
5% plus what? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Plus your Constitution bonus.
Oh, okay.
If your Constitution bonus is a minus, you don't deduct it. You just don't get any extra.
Okay, and is that rounded up?
Yes,
down?
always round up.
Okay. 3 plus 3, 6.
We're mathalating. I love it.
Right.
Yeah, we have really bad math moments on this show.
They do. They
Just-
can't. I think sometimes I do the homebrew just to mess with their math skills, man.
Oh,
While we're sitting there taking our rest, I'm gonna shoot side glances at Lilith, just to see if she's still angry at Tolgar for said comments earlier.
Lilith is paying no mind to anyone. She is basically sort of airing herself out, if you will, without giving everybody a free show.
Emlyn is just looking at his book, and you're going to see him for that hour basically doing...
Apparently he's doing math on his fingers.
I'm just doing hand gestures. Like,
Yeah.
you see the first hand gesture is my Eldritch Blast hand gesture, but then you see me doing a secondary, and it's not natural yet. It's like, wait. That's what he's doing.
Alrighty. Okay. So yes, rest for an entire hour. Emlyn plays with his book. I still think as much time as he spends in that book, if any of you actually pick the book up and open it, you're going to find some kind of other magazine laying in it. Just saying. The book is just a cover.
Tieflings gone wild.
Right?
Tiefling's gone wild. Beads
Play
around
tiefling.
horns. Yeah, play tiefling. Playling. Wait,
all
that's
right.
not wrong.
After that hour, you guys want to keep pushing on?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, you managed to successfully do so for several more hours as the sun begins to get lower and lower and slowly starts to disappear below the horizon. However, as luck would have it, far in the distance, you see the faint lights of some possible small hamlet, village, town. It's definitely a good number of miles away, but You believe if you really put your feet behind or feet underneath you and push on, you could probably make it before it's completely dark.
I put Emlyn on my back and start running.
No, I would not go. We're walking it, man. I refuse to be piggybacked.
How much can a warhorse carry?
Easily an Emlyn. And it can probably... in other words, if you turn into a warhorse, you could carry 2 of them.
You guys, we took a short rest, so I can do that. Right? I got one.
You absolutely can.
Shape change back.
Maybe we should talk about resource management going forward, not blowing our load every time. And I'm just gonna look at. I know how that sounds, but save it. We might need it for this next town.
Do you?
Okay, so you're going to decline Liv's kind offer of becoming a warhorse to carry you, and you're going to hoof it?
But I am going to say thank you. Emlyn does say thank you. But
You're welcome.
Okay. What about the other 2? Emlyn said he didn't want the ride. What about Togar and Lilith? They didn't say no.
That's true.
Save your strength, Olivia dear. I'll be fine. Thank you.
No
I'll
problem.
silently keep walking.
All right. Okay, you continue on and push forward. As far as your little legs will carry you, you make it to the edge of a village. It is a large village. The sign on the entrance to it describes it as the hamlet of Penhurst. Alrighty. As you guys emerge on the very edge of town. Let me scroll this back so I can get the full view of the village for everybody. Alright, so you are coming in from the south. Looking around, it is clearly a farming village. You can see cornfields, you can see herds of cows, sheep. Most of the buildings have thatched roofs. They're very nicely constructed, but they are simply constructed. There is no mortar, there is no brick. This is all wood and thatch. As you first enter the town, there is a side road, a dirt road, that kind of veers off in a kind of a northeasterly direction, and the main road itself continues on through town. The main road is obviously the main highway that travels from Corthan all the way down as far as Candowin, so it is a considerably larger road. The very fact that it is a main road is probably the reason why this hamlet looks like it's growing. A lot of the buildings are fairly new and in good state of repair.
Alright.
Emlyn's going to put the hood over his horns, cinch
Okay.
it so they don't see his... Well,
I don't think we should stay at an inn. Perhaps just a crop of trees or a stable.
As much as I hate roughing it, I think I may agree with you. The less people that see us, the better.
We can eat in the morning.
what about procuring transportation, like a horse or cart?
We'll just have to take it.
Do you really think that's smart after what we went through in Candowin?
This is a small hamlet. I'm sure there's not much of a militia here.
We could just, buy a horse.
Lilith, haven't I seen you disguise yourself back at the tavern? Perhaps we can give you some money to buy a horse and a cart.
That is true. I could
It's
do
a good
that.
idea.
Or maybe you could even perhaps talk to somebody into letting us stay in their barn or something, and just say, my friends and I just need a place to sleep. So
How
we don't
well
have to...
can you disguise yourself? I didn't really know you could do that.
What do you want to see?
A
We did it in the tavern, so that's how we know.
Well, I've learned a few new tricks since you saw me in the tavern.
Like what?
It's a little trick called alter self. I can change gender, race.
Oh, that would come in really handy in your
What?
line of work. You could really please the punners. Just saying.
Yeah, I can grow fangs and claws and all kinds of crap. This is
Horns?
crazy.
Hey, she charges for that
Wow.
kinky stuff.
Insane. That's awesome.
High level lady of the night can fill out all your fantasies, all your wildest dreams.
Woohoo.
I think we can use that to our advantage.
But I bet she'd let me touch her horns.
You're just going to see Emily do
Nice.
this.
Bravo, dear girl, bravo. Alrighty. Okay, well, we're overdue for our first break. We're going to take a short break. Myself and Tulgar will briefly... So here is our party. Let's just blow this up for everybody so they can see it. Okay, you can't see it completely because it doesn't allow you to, but basically it's the icon that has all the characters on it. Right, so you're at the edge of Penhurst. What do you want to do?
So you want to have Lilith see if we can stay
the Golem,
someplace?
thanks for the follow.
I like that idea. We can
Awesome.
go hide out in some trees somewhere.
Trees, wheat, corn. I think we have a variety of vegetation.
Right, well, there are some large cornfields over here. There's not a lot of trees. There is a few trees, but there's no big crop of trees. There's nothing like that. Galstaff, thank you for that kind donation, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Elsa.
Thank you,
We've only
Galstaff.
just
you.
kicked back, so let's go ahead and thank him and read the message if there is one that
Very
goes along
cool.
with that. Galstaff, kind donation with the message, loving this campaign. We appreciate it, dude. I'm glad you do.
Yeah, thank you,
Galstaff.
man.
That's so
Thanks for that,
nice.
my friend.
Thank you so
Very
much.
kind of you, bud.
So what if we waited
That was
in
a hell of a voice
cornfields?
act on that cat.
I know, she's Gabby.
Rendezvous there.
do you guys, and I'm not going to disagree if we ultimately decide to just stay outside the town, don't you think we'll be attracting more attention to ourselves if we try to be outsiders?
It's also a good point, Emlyn.
I'm just
maybe...
worried. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely want to take my hood out as well and cover my purple hair.
Is Hoot
but,
still up in the air?
Yes, Hoots is still up in the air.
There's a good amount of moonlight, so Hoots can still see very well. He can't see anything on the southern road for as far as he can see.
Okay. There's
So
nothing on the southern road.
if the bounty hunters are chasing you, they're not right on your tail, that's for sure. You overheard that they obviously had been at least stopped and questioned by the guards. Maybe that bought you some time, maybe it didn't. Maybe they're only an hour away, who can tell?
What do you think? Word got out? A description of us?
It's
That's
possible,
my
but
only worry.
we should definitely figure out this resting situation. So, do you want to approach a house, or what kind of signs do we see on buildings?
From here, the only building that you can actually see that doesn't look like a house from this distance is this one right here. There is a sign swinging over the doorway. Obviously, at this hour, it's closed, but the sign reads, Jen's Jen. As in Jens for Jen, as in a name, and Jen, Gen.
So there's a tavern.
How about we rest up outside under a tree, try to get as much sleep as we can, and then we just can keep a watch on the southern road, and if anything's coming, we start moving? I don't know.
As soon as he sees something, then maybe we can procure some sort of transport.
Well, let's go through the main street and see if we can see any horses, you know?
Okay, I send Hoots up and away and see if he sees any horses or anybody on the street, maybe.
Okay, at this
Staggering
hour,
out.
nobody really seems to be wandering around the streets in the hamlet. Overlooking the town, Hoots can see what appears to be a farmstead with quite a few horses in a big kind of sturdy pen. It has got buildings on either side of it, though. It's real close to a large farmhouse and incredibly close to a much smaller shack.
Okay.
And that would be you can kind of Hoots is giving you the direction. That is directly to the northeast.
Directly to the northeast, there's horses in a shed. But I think we should not take these horses. I definitely think we should pay for them.
Makes no difference to me.
I think whatever gets us out of here without attracting attention. So, yes, I agree with Liv.
Yes.
But we should be near them at the very least in case we desperately need to.
There are a couple of sheds, but I do not want us to get caught and have the people think that we are horse stealers.
Any trees nearby or something we could lean against, rest against?
I see a few trees, yes.
Well, let's go there.
Okay, off to
We'll
the
be
trees.
close, but not,
All right,
So close
guilty.
to be called horse thieves.
Okay, so whereabouts do you want to go?
I'm thinking here-ish.
Okay.
Trees.
All right. Which direction do you want to go? You want to go through the main street or take the side road?
Side road.
Side
Oh,
road?
side road, yeah.
The path less traveled, as they say.
Alrighty. Jordan Davis, thanks for the follow, bud.
Woohoo.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, the houses along this side road, if that's what you want to call it. Up a notch, thanks for the follow. It's clearly residential dwellings. As you kind of pass through here, you can also hear the braying of horses coming from this large building here. The back part of it looks like it's probably a large stable. The layout and size of the building compared to all the others, it's the only multi-level building here. It's a fairly good guess that it might be some kind of inn or tavern. There's crop fields to your right. You find yourself at a junction. You can slip through if you're aiming at these trees right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, sneaking your way through into the small crop of apple trees, which is exactly what they are.
Now we're going to be apple thieves.
Well,
Yeah.
the only problem is the
me
apples
jelly.
are all kind of really small and very, very hard. It's a little early for them to be
Ugh.
ripe. You could eat them, but your stomach may not thank you in the morning. There is a large pond also immediately to your left. All right, so you've made your way underneath the trees. As you kind of get that close, the horses in the paddock, a few of them are like getting a little bit kind of restless, but none of them really get out of sorts.
I'm
Emlyn
gonna
is
sit down.
and
Are those limbs on those trees pretty sturdy? Because they're apple trees?
They are. I mean, the trees are not very tall. They're very bushy, but they're not that tall. But, I mean, you could get up in them to some degree. They'd get you off the ground.
Liv wants to do that. She's used to sleeping in trees. It's
Okay.
one of the things that she does.
All right. Well, there's no climb check. An apple tree has got way
Yeah,
many
just-
of low-level limbs for you to scramble up top, no problem at all.
Used to sleeping in trees and stuff. Off the
Lilith's gonna
ground
settle down at the trunk of the tree
All right.
that Liv chooses.
Okay. Don't look up. She doesn't wear much
Yep.
as it is.
Lilith's seen it all.
Okay. All right. So you're at the base of that tree. Liv
Liv
is
passes
in the
her
branches.
whatever's in her sack to eat. Like I think she picked up some stuff from like 3 towns over.
Right.
A couple of food things.
Yeah, there's a few kind of on the turn dry, it's edible,
things.
but it's kind of on the verge. It's like eat it now or throw it away because it ain't gonna last any longer.
I'd probably walk away for a few minutes to defecate. We have to roleplay that one.
I think that's an actual first that anybody's chosen to say they're actually gonna use the restroom. Okay.
I mean, we've been traveling for so long. I felt like I needed
We
to.
love you, Jane. You're so
Come back.
strange.
Come back and sit down and go to sleep.
Hey, at
Everything
least
got
she
all right?
said she was gonna
Fine.
go away and do it, and didn't just say I'm doing it.
Just dig a
All
hole.
Okay.
Tolgar shit in the
Never-
woods?
Right? You're gonna transform
Can
into
you
a
hear
bear
it?
to do that? So Tolgar, you doing? Whereabouts are you going to do that? There's a reason I'm asking. Show me where. Give me a ping to show me whereabouts you go. I mean, are you just wandering
Wait,
over to behind the closest tree,
No,
or
I would go over there and then come back
okay,
to here
all right.
to sleep.
Did you
That's
at
fine.
least wash your hands?
Oh, I doubt it. Where's he going to wash them?
Yeah.
Knowing
I won't
Tolgar, he
carry
did
it,
wash
so-
his
That's how
hands because he
people get
also
pink-eye,
went to number
Tolgar.
1. Okay. So Tolgar, you come back, crouch under the tree. You're going to rest up there. Emlyn, what are you up to?
I'm just under my tree trying to sleep. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is it?
Okay.
I'm
All
tired.
right. You are all pretty tired and weary. Are any of you going to do a watch, or are you just going to kip it out?
Hoots can stand watch. And actively wake me, right? Yeah.
I'm not. I know that much.
If Hoots is, then I'm just going to sleep. I'm not going to say anything. I'm
All right.
trusting the party to keep me alive.
Yeah. That's a strange choice.
Yeah, totally.
Alrighty. Okay. So you all have no problem falling asleep, as weary and as tired as you are. I mean, you guys haven't slept for almost 2 complete days. I mean, it's been that long. And you have been traveling and running and fighting and fretting and burning houses down and hiding dead bodies. All those kind of fun things that just zap the energy out of a person. So yeah, you have no trouble falling asleep. You are woken very early, however. Not to be that DM, but as late as it is, you maybe get 4 hours, if that, before you're woken. You're at a farm. They get up early at farms. And within no time at all, you can hear people clanging around and moving. You can see people feeding horses, taking horses out and brushing them down, moving all around the place, loading up stuff on the back of a cart, going and fetching hay bales and rolling them over to the cart, loading them up and taking them to the horses.
Doing farm things.
Yeah, it's all very loud and fun and energetic. Unite 010, new subscriber hype. Thanks for hitting the sub button, buddy. What do we say,
Welcome,
Jane?
Hoot!
Take your pants off and enjoy the show. God damn it.
That sounded
was
worse than
terrible.
ever. Like,
say-
how?
Take your pants off and enjoy the show.
Oh, it's so bad. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
take
show
your pants
and take
off.
your pants off separately.
Yeah, don't take your pants off and then start enjoying the show. Enjoy the show, and as an after effect, just take your pants off.
So is that another short rest?
That would definitely count as a short rest, but it's not going to cover you for a long rest. No.
No.
Sorry, guys, you slept out. I mean, it was already wee early hours in the morning. You slept
Okay.
outside by a farm.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of deserve that.
Okay.
We can't be like HR evil here, you
Yeah,
know.
but you do get. I mean, you are rested in. You know, you got some rest, but you've got that kind of weird. In the morning when you start hearing those noises, it just grates. It's like, oh fuck. Will somebody just shut that damn crow up? You know, will that rooster just shut its damn mouth?
Shut up.
You know, it's just, it's frustrating to be woken up that early when you're that tired.
You do get that 5% plus your con bonus.
Yeah, 5%
still, right?
plus your con. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, what do you want to get? What do you want to do, guys?
I want to get into bed.
Well,
Actually,
you can.
we need food.
Right.
However,
Okay. Something strange is occurring. Liv, you grew up in and around farmland. Okay. You can notice several people are walking over to the pond, filling up buckets and carrying the water to the fields, and they're throwing the water on the open fields, like literally by bucket load. It's almost a futile effort. It's like, that's stupid. There is no way you are gonna successfully irrigate acres of land with buckets of water. What are you doing? But that's what they're doing.
Okay, I'm gonna have my hood up
Okay.
over my purple hair, and approach one.
All right.
Say hi.
Okay. We'll say it's a lass about mid-20s. She's walking with 2 buckets. Already this early in the morning, you can see she's weary. Good morning.
Are you okay? Well, what are you doing with those buckets? Why are you watering the land that way?
You would think that they would have this problem solved by now, wouldn't you?
Yes, but what's the problem? Why? Why is this going on?
Well, for years and years, we had this wonderful irrigation system that flowed from the ponds and took care of them, and then all of a sudden, about a week ago, no irrigation.
How is it
Crops
flowing?
started to dry up.
The pond is still here, so are the mechanisms that were attached not functioning correctly?
I don't know. All I know is they told us to go ahead and start taking as many buckets as we can and dousing the crops as best we can.
Who are we? Who told you? Who are the people that told you?
Well, the mayor, Benham Tollin, he pretty much gathered everybody up and said until the problem is solved, we all had to pitch in. This was a farming community after all, and we all lived and profited and suffered together.
Benham Tollum. Okay.
If you really want to help, you could pitch in, grab a couple of buckets.
I am so exhausted. Is there maybe a place to stay? I'll help you a little bit, but I do need...
We've got a fair to middling tavern right there. An inn. And she points right across at the large building here.
Okay.
How about
right
this?
across from the smithy.
Liv, why don't you help them with their bucket problem, and I'll order you some breakfast.
She said, well, if you
Thanks,
really do want to pitch
buddy.
in, this is an all-day affair. From sun up to sundown. Mind you, I'm sure for some outsiders they'd be willing to pay for the help. Might even be willing to give you a few copper pieces a day.
Let's go check on that status of that work, and maybe we'll be right back. We'll see.
Well, fair
going
enough. Now, if you'll
Thank you.
excuse me, I got crops to get wet. She picks them up and goes waddling off, spilling half the water as she does.
Food, horses, escape. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Let's put those, go inside.
Hammer.
Great. I love the sound effects. That's perfect. Yes. Wow.
Oh, don't get me started. I'll start beatboxing this. Don't even.
All right. Yeah,
Next time you guys talk to someone, ask them where the nearest town is north. I'm curious.
I'm gonna look at Tolgar knowingly. Emlyn is, and he's just gonna to the tavern.
Alright.
To the tavern!
So once again, Emlyn and Tolgar are making their way to the tavern. Lilith and Liv, are you following suit, or do you think
Yes.
that... Okay, so Liv is.
I'll see.
What about you, Lilith? I can see that look on Lilith's face.
We come into town to avoid the inn, and now we're going to the inn. She follows along. What else is she gonna do?
Alright. Okay. You make your way round to the entrance to the tavern. The Wool and Cow Inn. There's actually a really terribly painted sign on the front. It's a cow with sheep's fur scribbled all over it. Clearly, an artiste they are lacking in this town. But nonetheless, it does its job in highlighting that this is in fact the inn or tavern. Okay, let's move you over to it. Alright. You pop open the door. Immediately as soon as you do so, you can hear plenty of jovial noise coming from inside. Where's my...
Plenty of jovial noise.
Yep. No music, just people chit-chatting and gossiping, but it definitely sounds fairly active and vibrant. Okay. Who's entering the tavern first? I'll just move you in.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? Who's on first?
Probably Emlyn or Tolgar.
All right.
Kind of left together, right?
Okay. So you push open the double doors, one to the left, one to the right, and in you walk.
Emlyn does have his hood over his horns.
All right.
And Liv's covering up that purple.
Okay, so you're all basically trying not to be overly conspicuous, those of you that can. Tolgar, are you doing anything to make yourself considerably smaller, look weaker?
Yeah, I'm going to be crawling on all fours.
All
No,
right.
I'm just going to walk around.
Okay.
Very normally.
Not be unintimidating.
Well, as soon as you walk in there, as I said, you can hear the noise. Glancing around, it is full of fairly common farm folk, all except for two very well-dressed individuals to the table to your right that are chowing down on some lavish meal. Over to the far right-hand side against the wall, by the fireplace, there is a guy who has a huge meat cleaver that is making his way through shards of pork and basically handing fresh bacon to the cook to go ahead and throw on the fire in various different with various different pots and pans. There's something delicious smelling bubbling away in a large cauldron suspended over the top. And even at this hour, some people clearly have ale, mead, or whatever in their mugs and glasses. It's a farming community after all. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Closer to the food, the happier I'll be.
I would like to
Saying
be
that
close
out loud?
to a window in case I have to run away like last time.
Liv feels so at home here. She feels so comforted. This is the most familiar, besides the woods, this is the most familiar setting that she's been in. And she is very much reminded of home.
All
Or
right.
at least what home used to be.
Yeah, this is a very kind of like naturally sort of village. Okay. So the three of you procure a table. As you do so, a very large fellow, the one that is handy with the meat cleaver. He has got thick red hair and a beard, which is tied back into a ponytail to keep it out of his hair and out of the food, in theory.
His beard's tied back.
His hair is, but he has a thick beard as well. Sorry. He's about 6'2", very well built.
He's a handsome fella.
He's not that handsome, but he is a big dude. He's got a very kind of
Fun.
gruff look on his
Man
face.
bun.
He's got, looking at him, he's probably in his mid-40s, but you can really tell that more from the fact that he has bright red hair and his physical physique. He has
So
worry
it's junk
lines on his
farmer?
brow that kind of make him look facially a bit older.
Okay.
All right. You sit down. Catching your eye, a young lass, probably her mid-20s, comes over to the side of the table, holding a small tray. It has a bowl on it with bacon already, which she immediately puts down in front of you. She says, compliments of the gaffer.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
She says, well then, my name's Jaina. How can I help you? What can I get you this morning?
More, please.
Well, obviously, this is, as I said, complimentary appetizer and all.
Oh.
But we have a full menu, even at this time of the morning. We've got beef stew, pork chops and veg. You can have ribs, beef or pork, all fresh, steak and potatoes. The meat feast, which is pork, ribs, pork chops, steak, and of course, everything at this time in the morning comes with breakfast, comes with bacon and fresh bread.
Jesus.
Mixed veg.
Yes.
The seltzer's platter, I invented that myself. It's steak, beef ribs, 2 pork chops, half a pound of bacon, plenty of vegetables, and a big slopping of gravy on the top. Comes with
God,
half a
the
loaf of
people's
fresh bread.
arteries that live at this.
Fish of the day. We've got carp from the pond, and we've got some mackerel fresh up from Candwin. We can
Everything but the fish sounds good.
everything. Well, you do have a hearty appetite, my friend.
Just not for the table. Just bring things. We'll eat it. Don't worry.
Yes, vegetables.
We do indeed offer a mixed vegetable platter. Yes, if you're inclined to stay away from the meat, my dear. Although I can tell you, it's all very fresh. proper farm red,
I'm
farm
sure.
fed. She says, well,
Watching my womanly figure, you.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll bring 2 or 3 steaks, a couple of pork chops, a big platter of bread, slab of cheese, and a nice fresh loaf. How does that sound?
Sounds delicious. Some meat pies as well, and that'd be great.
Oh, don't have any pies yet, I'm afraid. Don't usually have pies till lunchtime. Pies have to be baked.
Deal breaker.
Sorry.
Well, you know, we're just gonna have to go to the next tavern.
Lilith just stands up, flips the table.
That's it. Screw you, no pie! Don't forget the pie, Sam. Okay. She says, yeah, I'm awfully sorry. I can get to making some straight away and have them probably ready by mid-morning.
Oh, no worries. We'll just eat here what we have. And some fresh milk, maybe. This is a farming
absolutely.
community?
We have fresh milk, water, but of course we have, well, the bar is open.
And maybe some different cheeses, goat milk, and
Different cheeses. We don't have any goats, I'm afraid. We do have cheese, but it's farm
Good
cheddar,
old-
pretty much.
Good old pig cheese.
Hog's head.
I'm fine.
How about
Sinjin, thanks for the follow. Oh, Triple Extreme, thank you as well. I think I might have missed you while I was on break.
some red wine for everybody here, right? And I'm gonna look at Lilith.
She says, "Oh well, yeah,
I take
of
out my
course.
book.
We have house red wine. Mary Murphy's ale is popular. Bodrin's mead makes it himself." And she kind of points at the fellow that's standing there with the cleaver. That's Bodrin. That's my husband. Handsome man, isn't he?
Yeah.
We have some fresh corn. We have corn mash whiskey, Candlewind Calamity ale, Talarian's
Please
best
stop
brandy,
talking.
and island rum.
Island rum.
It all sounds so good.
Totally made me. I need a drink now. Gore, damn it.
So,
Gore just puts
Island.
his hands in his head and just
4 glasses
stops
of wine
being a
and
part
a
the
glass of
conversation.
milk. Is that it?
Yes, milk and yes, that's it. Island. How did you come across the island wine?
Island rum? Well,
Rum,
Candlewind's only a couple of days to the south.
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Oh, I love Candlewind.
She says, "Oh, have you been to Candlewind
Okay,
recently?"
food. Yes.
It's a big place. Just
Oh,
big.
it is. I haven't been there myself for, well, 5 or
Does your
6 years.
husband? Is your husband's secret recipe for his mead? Does he put meat in the wine, in the mead, to make it in the barrel?
No. But we do have several well-produced beehives, and we do love to put fresh honey in it.
That sounds delicious. Some honey mead would be great.
Fair enough. So,
Is it what mead is made out of? Honey, yes.
yes. For
And apples, maybe.
I do have some apples from last year's crop. They're not quite in yet, but the ones that we have, they're fair to middling. They're decent.
Lilith just has this look on her face.
Yeah, so let me get this right. 4 glasses of wine, glass of milk, glass of mead, and then, as we said, 3 or 4 steaks, some pork chops, some veg, loaf of bread, block of cheese.
Sounds good.
Fair enough. Give me about 15-20 minutes and I'll have your food out. I'll have the drinks back here in just a few. And she wanders off.
Don't you all think you're eating a bit heavy for being on the run?
It's probably that we haven't eaten in days thing.
Plus, we can always take some of it with us.
Eating heavy before vigorous physical activity is a bad idea.
I was always told as a kid, whenever you're fleeing from the law, eat light. Alrighty. So,
I can.
It's
When
good to
the
be sick on a client. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Tolgar can probably eat all of that on his own.
when the food does come, I do actually want to take some with us. The cheese, some bread.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
have
the
a
cheese,
salad.
wrap that in a bit of cloth. It's good for a long period of time. The bread will last for several days as long as it's not too hot. Climate-wise, right now, you are coming into summer, so it is pretty warm out, but it's not scorching hot. Alrighty. Okay, she brings you your drinks. puts a glass of wine in front of each of you, and then puts a glass of mead and a glass of milk in front of Liv. And she kind of looks at her with a smirk, and she goes, "The mead and the milk will probably go quite well. I'm not so sure that wine's going to go as well with the milk, though, but..."
Lilith reaches over and grabs it. I'll have hers.
Okay. All right. Right, so she looks at you and she says, "Oh, right then. So that's 4 wines. We got a mead. That's going to be 2 silver and 3 copper pieces for the drinks. Staying 4 silver for the food."
I'm gonna look down.
A gold and call it even.
Her eyes light up when you say that.
Lilith hands over a gold.
Okay, she curtsies and, "Oh, thank you so much, my dear. If there's anything else you can get, that I can get you. Oh, and it's free
yes.
refills on the bacon all morning."
I need something.
Yes, ma'am. Sir.
Just.
It's the pecs. They're very misleading.
I'll try to work out less. Where's the nearest town north of here? How far is Corthan? And are there stops in between?
Oh, Corthan. Well, I'm not the best travelled in the world, but, Crow Bluff is about 2.5 days to the north of here.
Cool.
From Crow Bluff, you can make your way to Saramorn. From
Oh my
Saramorn,
God.
it's a long trek along the main road, but eventually you'll find Corthan to the northwest.
Thank you. That's all.
She says, "Well, thank you so much." Right, she makes her way back, goes over to the innkeeper, and you hear her say, "I do love it when we get visitors from out of town." He looks, "Oh, really?" She says, "Oh, yes. It only come to 6 silver, but she gave me an entire gold. That's almost double." "Well, just keep on smiling. That's what you're here for, lass. You're doing a good job." And he pats her on the head. She goes, "Thank you." And with that, she turns and makes her way over to the fireplace and gives the big old stew pot a good lashed stir. Alrighty. Okay, they're preparing your food. You're all sitting here.
Emlyn has his book out, and he is reading it. And he's focused on a couple passages.
Emlyn?
Okay. Oh, I see. Emlyn reads it for the articles. Gotcha.
Put the book down.
Why?
Pay attention to the cat, damn it.
We need to discuss what we're doing next.
You guys work it out. We're gonna get some horses. We're gonna buy them if we can. Just leave me alone, please.
All right. As you're talking, you see the people that are immediately to the table here. They both kind of turn and look at you and go back to eating their food.
Lilith is staring absent-mindedly, not really listening to anybody.
Are you
Anybody?
okay, Lilith?
She sort of looks like she's reaching for something around her neck, and then she realizes nothing's there. And she's just like, "Oh, what?
Are
Yes,
you okay?
fine. Fine. It's been a long month."
Yeah, it has been.
I mean, it
Very
really.
long month.
This is the first time you guys have actually had to sit down and breathe, like for real, since the shipwreck.
Okay. Are we staying here, resting more, or are we leaving?
You almost had an opportunity to do this once before in Kanduin at the Drunken Duck, but then it was
Yeah.
very short-lived.
As you can see,
I-
Tolgar's not trying to rest, he's trying to make plans.
I would like to take a rest, otherwise I'm not very much good.
As much as I would like to rest, I want to get back to my girls quickly. That would be a place where everyone could collect their thoughts.
I just don't get it.
What?
Nothing.
He
Leave me
appears to
alone.
be talking to himself.
Emlyn, we need to discuss plans, and you need to be a part of it.
I agree with whatever you say. Leave me alone, please. This makes
So I
sense.
can count you on my vote for everything I say.
I follow Liv's idea. Buy horses. Leave town. Go to the garden. Sure. Shut up.
How far is the garden away? It is like a few towns over, correct?
It's on the outskirts of Corthan.
Right.
You're talking 600-700 miles.
Right. So
This
we
is no
definitely,
short journey.
We definitely need a long rest. So, and we can also we need a long rest. And I'm beginning to see that we do need to go to Corthan as quick as possible. I feel, and now that I've had time to actually sit and think about things, I need to start focusing on other matters. My child. I need to find him or her and see if I can recover and get them back. And I don't want my child to become a motherless child and be raised by that ass.
That's fine.
We need information, Olivia. Information my girls can get for us. I just don't like not having as much space between us and Kanduin as possible.
Though I do think traveling by night might be the best option, so perhaps we could take a rest here until it's
Dead
nighttime.
Skunk Productions, Wolfation, Miner, and Scotty's Home, thank you. Oh, and It's Linky, thank you as well for those follows.
Did we want to find out what's going on with the irrigation problem here? Or, I mean, it doesn't. I know I need to be focusing on other things. So
The door
I'm
opens.
sure it's something their mayor can solve.
As soon as it does, everybody pretty much acknowledges the man that walks in. Looking at him, he is a fairly stout-looking individual. He's about 5'10", probably in his early 60s. He's got a pipe hanging out the corner of his mouth. Graying beard, graying hair that's kind of just around the side. Comes back into a Sean Connery-style ponytail at the back. No, it is not the king. He's wearing a well-fitted brown, kind of a tweedish jacket, pants. Obviously has money, but doesn't really dress like he does. The only thing that lets you know that is just how well his clothes fit him. He doesn't, obviously these were made for him. As he walks in, everyone's like, "Hey, morning, governor." "Morning. How you doing, Benham?" "All right." "Usual please, my love."
Speak of the devil.
And he walks and sits down at this table. Quickly, you see the young girl go over, pour a fresh glass of milk, cut an orange in half, go over, get a load of bacon, some cheese, throw some mushrooms in a pan, and then she immediately starts whipping together, you know, a breakfast for this fellow. Once that's all on the go in the pan, she rushes over. "Here's your milk." Looks up. "Thank you, Jenna, my dear. I wonder how them fields are coming along. This weather ain't getting any cooler. What we wouldn't give for a spot of rain, eh? Oh, I know, it's terrible. Oh, never mind. About your business, girl." She heads off and carries on working on his breakfast.
At this point, you see Emlyn take some pages from his book, start folding them, and trying to match them to other pages. like it's some elaborate origami. It's like, well, this makes sense.
He bought
this
him,
is just gibberish.
and this is where you find out that yes, Emlyn in fact has just got one of those cheap paper origami books from the local bookstore.
I'm gonna lean in, hoping that means other people will lean in so I could whisper quietly to them.
I'm not paying attention to you. So.
Lilith isn't either. She's kind of still in a daze.
Right. Everybody make an observation check, if you will, please.
Yeah, Emlyn's not.
Fuck.
No, you don't need to, Emlyn.
Alright.
Perception?
Yeah,
Perception.
go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Oh,
Oh!
good.
Alrighty. Talgar is too busy thinking about what he wants to whisper. Alright, Lilith, And Liv, however, you notice something a little odd going on over at your horned friend's corner. As he kind of eagerly is perusing through the book and starts folding pages, you're noticing that his normal kind of really dark black eyes have got little purple swirls beginning to start in the middle and slowly grow. Almost like there's a strange purple mist living inside his black eyes.
The sad man. Welcome.
The sad. I thought you said the sad man.
No, sad man. Thank you for that subscribe, my friend.
Woo!
New subscriber. Hi, what do we say, Jane?
Hoot hoot!
Take your pants off. Is that what you said?
Yeah, and leave it at that. Don't continue.
See you later.
That's it, though.
Just take your pants off. Don't
Take
do
your
anything
pants
else
off.
Jane tells
Nothing
you to do after that. Thank you for that, my friend. Very much appreciated.
So
awkward.
Lilith
man.
acknowledges what's going on with Emlyn over there, but she doesn't speak.
Okay.
Okay.
God
We'll
damn.
live.
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on with Emlyn.
Yeah, it's kind of
wait, you
odd,
say that out
and
loud?
it's not like you haven't seen magic before, but there's something very disturbing and creepy about it.
Okay,
Good guy. Thanks for the follow.
With that, no, saying that it's disturbing and creepy. Lilith is just going to lean forward and say, "Emlyn not here."
Only Zool.
Yeah. There is no Emlyn, only Zool. That's right.
At that point, do I notice it too then?
As soon as they,
look
if
up
they
at
start,
Lilith.
yeah, if they start,
Yeah.
yeah, he kind of just looks up at you and he gives you the he kind of gives you his normal look. It's just the eyes are doing weird stuff. You're not even convinced he knows it.
Hey.
She's just going to have this look on her face, like pleading with him, like not here, because she thinks he's doing it on purpose.
Emlyn?
Hey, you know how he is. It could be anything.
Emlyn.
I already said I'd agree with you on anything. Let me just read
Emlyn,
my book.
I don't
What?
mean to alarm you, but your eyes...
What about them?
Lilith told you
Are
if
you-
you didn't stop, you'd go blind.
I can see just fine, oh omnipotent God, by the name of Corbett.
Are you using magic right now that I don't know about?
I am looking at my book. You've seen me do that before. If I was doing magic here, everyone would know.
Everybody does know your eyes are telling a tale.
Is this another of your
I'm
wild
gonna
theories?
take
I
out my
thought we
pocket
moved
mirror.
beyond that.
Great, my wild theories.
So
Is there a
you're
mirror?
Not doing it on purpose.
There's not a mirror, but I mean,
Is there like a fork or a knife I can just be like reflective?
absolutely, you could do. I mean, you
Yeah,
could get
yeah.
enough reflection from that, or a glass of water, anything.
There
not
are
really being-
swirls in
You
your
see
eyes.
the swirls?
Let's take the knife and I'm just gonna.
Don't stab me with that. No, give me it. No.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can see it, because they're not just sitting there. It's like, it's not like a continual even swirl. It's almost like there's little baubles of mist with purple. There's
Oh,
like purple
no,
mist
purple
inside his
mist?
eyes.
Your eyes are bursting out of your head, Emlyn.
I'm fine.
What is it?
It's awesome, is what it is. We can leave it at that. I'm gonna put the fork down.
All right. Well,
Put the fork
speaking of
down in just a
awesome, that's
minute.
the perfect time for us to hit our second break, so that the rest of you can go ahead and take a respite. So, okay. So the girl has gone over to his lordship's table, and she has sat down his breakfast, which is precisely 4 rashers of bacon, 2 tomatoes cut in half, 2 eggs, and a small pile of mushrooms. He has freshly squeezed orange juice to one side and milk to the other. It is almost perfectly placed. The table, or he sits here, his plate is in front of him, the milk is immediately above it to the left, the orange juice to the right. She
Got
carefully
OCD too?
positions his
Apparently, 10
fork
o'clock, 2 o'clock.
and knife and steps back and looks at him. You see him go. He reaches down and moves the knife maybe 1/4 of an inch.
Bro,
Steps
messed
back
up.
and goes, "That'll do, ma'am. Appreciate it.
What's in your style, Tolgar? What?
Okay, and off she goes. As she kind of walks back, you see this look on her face. Like, he can't see it, but it's clearly you can see this is a daily routine for this poor lass.
Aw. Emlyn's just looking at his eyes in the knife that was offered by Liv.
Right.
Actually looks like
Should never give it.
It's a slipper. I don't have a knife in my room. Just
Liv is rethinking that knife situation.
You see him carefully lay down his pipe, position it perfectly, level his chair, straighten his back, and then picks up the knife and the fork, both at exactly the same time, and begins to eat. Yes, the man is OCD.
Yeah. Before you guys get any ideas, I'm whispering, do not go up to him. We don't need to talk to authorities here. I look at Liv a little longer.
I was about to say, I feel Tolgar's eyes on me for some reason. But you know what? I agree.
Lilith is paying no attention.
I have other things to be worried about than whatever he's doing.
All right. Well, with that,
I like his style.
You see the fellow in the chair directly to the next of you, who's wearing kind of like a weird kind of almost like symmetrically fitting cap. It has no beak. It's almost like one of these without a peak to it. He is wearing very lavish, almost foppish pinkish pants. He has a grey tunic on with a yellow shirt underneath. Lilith, you could so give this guy some style tips. But he is all incredibly high quality stuff. He has a gold necklace, a very heavy gold necklace around his collar.
Oh god, it's a rapper.
He Audie, Pitmage, Audie, Zavtillin, Galaxy Soldier, thank you for those follows. You guys, you just broke 5,000 for us. 5,000 follower hype.
Yeah, get it.
Thank you so much.
Dude.
Watch Twitter. Keep an eye on everything Howreroll. Check the website because the giveaway is going to happen. So, mega giveaway, details to come. You guys have earned it. We're going to give it to you. As I said, you're looking at a couple of $100 worth of D&D and Howreroll merchandise and then some. Going to be given away to one lucky follower. So thank you for all the support. It's kind of apt because we did a big thank you show on Tuesday with Dialogues and Dice. I took a time out to thank each and every one of you that really stick with us. As we said, we know that a lot of you are choosing to watch us right now instead of maybe another show that might be on at the same time. We really appreciate that. We do. You have a choice. We thank you for choosing to be with us. But yes, over the 5,000 mark, we got something for you. So there we go. All right. So he gets up. You see him look over. He says, if you'll excuse me, my dear, to business. And she, go ahead, carries on munching.
You sounded like a chipmunk when you did. I'm sorry.
Right. You see the fellow walk over and stand. He goes, I believe you're the mayor, yes? Bellum Tollin, I do believe. Puts down his knife and fork. Picks up his pipe. Aye, that'll be me. Been mayor of Penhurst for nigh on 20 years. What can I do for you? Obviously not from around here, I recognise everybody. Well, I understand that you have quite a renowned horse breeder here in town. Aye. Eden Hayward. Knows what he's doing when it comes to breeding horses, that's for sure. We are in the market for a couple of fine young stallions, and I understand that it is, well, I've heard that sometimes Eden can be a little bit more open to reason and price if the proper introduction is made by the mayor.
You were saying, Tolgar?
Well, that's true. Me and Ed and Hayford have been friends for an awful long time, but before I go around making recommendations for people that I don't know, who are you? What exactly you want to do with these horses? Oh, simple merchant. We have an awful long journey ahead of us. We're heading to Iridian. My wife wants to go to the coronation. And, well, you know, Iridian being the capital, the jewel of the kingdom, as it were. But we need a couple of good, reliable horses. Ours are too old to make such a journey. Understood that, here's the place to buy them. Got plenty of gold, then? Usual going rates around 100 gold per nag. I mean horse. He might do you a deal if I think you worthy. But that being said, what do you know about irrigation? He looks at him and says, not a thing, I'm afraid. We've been having water problems.
We don't need good horses. We just need ones that can move.
He says, nigh on a week now. Irrigation packed up. I arranged many years ago for this farming community to have the finest irrigation system that could be acquired. Worked flawlessly. We've enjoyed wonderful crops. The land has been fertile. No problems. All of a sudden a week ago, all the pipes seemed to run dry. I sent for a couple of labourers, well, 3 of them to be precise, to come up from Kanduin. They come up. I paid them in advance, 50%, as I thought was customary. They told me it was. They took the money and pissed off. Never seen them since. Headed off to the cornfields, or so they said. No sign of the bastards. Stole the money and pissed off back to Kanduin. So now I find myself in a bit of a predicament. We're all simple farmers here, but we don't know much about irrigation. Anybody that's willing to help out, I would more than happily talk to Edin and see if we can arrange a mutual deal for some horses. Oh, if only I had the knowledge. But what I do have, as he is a full coin purse. Well, in light of a lack of irrigational knowledge, that coin will do just fine. If you're sticking around here, I've got some things to tend to late morning, but I'll come back and I'll take you over to see Edin right after lunch. Will that suit you? Oh, that'll be splendid, sir. Well, if you don't mind, got breakfast to finish. Oh, no, not at all. And he heads back over to the table and sits right back down. As he sits, you notice he's like, glances over his shoulders at you with a smile, realizing you don't look the most savory individuals, and turns his back away from you.
Oh.
He leans in and speaks quietly, but it's still easy to hear. Oh yes, we're in luck, my dear. I think that Mayor Tollin is going to introduce us to this Hayford fellow, and we might be lucky enough to get quite a deal. He waffled on about something about irrigation, but what do I care? Much rather just pay for the things me gone.
Didn't one of you guys grow up on a farm or something?
I
horses.
I grew up in a house.
I have knowledge in irrigation and woodworking and perhaps fixing this problem, but do we really want to get involved? Do we have enough gold to just buy a couple of horses?
Let's see. Let me check how much gold I have.
You'll be looking at about from what he's saying, you're looking at around 200 gold.
I have about 50 gold. How about you guys?
70.
Yeah. Well, yay, we get need to do some farm work.
Well, Liv, why don't we snoop this guy? Swoop him, whatever.
Snoop, swoop. We're just gonna like swoop
swoop.
upon him.
The least intimidating, please.
So not you
As long
then.
as you're clothed. Please just stay clothed, Liv. But yeah, yeah.
She
You can
frozen.
see Edward start doing this.
Is Imlin's eyes still doing
Yes.
that thing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Emlyn,
Okay.
don't even look towards him.
It
please.
seems to kind of like, when he seems jovial, it gets much smaller. It's almost barely noticeable. But anytime he's studying the book or he goes sourpuss face, it flares up.
Okay.
Somebody does the bitch face. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Emlyn bitch face.
What would be the male equivalent? Bastard face.
It's Emlyn is a bitch face.
Yeah, you are a kind of bitchy looking fellow.
It really am.
Lilith, if you don't mind offering our services to that man, I think you're good at that.
And
Offering
perhaps we should-
services.
Jeff, thanks for
Use
the
a
follow. I
different-
think I missed you, dude. I apologize. Thank you.
We should use different names.
Please.
Alright, Frank.
You look like a Frank.
I'm just gonna keep eating.
That sounds like a name of a monkey or something.
There we go. A strange. Taste.
Touche, Lilith. Very good.
Well played. Wingpin. No. Okay.
I'll go by your TE character names. Okay.
Call me. I'm gonna look around.
Ishmael.
Theon, please. The name
Leon?
of my brother. Theon.
Theon Greyjoy.
Theon. Theon.
Theon.
No last name, please.
So Frank, Theon.
Oh. I'll be
I'm so stupid.
I'll be Cucumber.
Okay.
It's gonna be an inside joke, head nod to Deadeye Society.
There you go.
Everybody
you
will
go.
know what that means.
Cucumber.
Cucumber.
Teaser to come. Find out later on Dead Die Society. There you go.
That's right.
All right, and what about Lilith?
Chandelier.
How about Zucchini? Cassava melon?
Yazzleberry, please.
Banana split? No, wait, no. AccuView. There you go.
Would you just look over and see that written somewhere in your
Yeah,
house?
it's contacts. AccuView. They're contact lenses. All right. I'm
All right.
done.
I have AccuView.
Lilith is gonna think
You're like
quickly,
toric lenses.
and she's
I can
gonna
be toric.
decide to go with the name of the first girl that she ever recruited. So she's gonna go by Evelyn.
Evelyn. Okay.
Well, go.
All
Got
right.
this, ladies.
Go for it. All right.
All right, so
Well, Lord
she's
Benham
gonna
Collins
stand up
sits
straight
there
and tall,
eating his breakfast.
and she's going to slowly walk over, careful to accentuate as she walks
All right.
the move of her hips and whatnot.
Okay. A lot of the young men in the tavern are like, I don't know what we're gonna do about this water problem. As they watch her saunter across the room. All
As
right.
she's sort of slinking across the tavern.
All right. Once you get to him, he puts down his knife and fork, picks up his pipe, once again, almost in the exact same motion, in the exact same time frame. Morning. What can I do for you then, lass?
No, as she walks over there, she's going to purposely make sure that, like, part of her clothes is kind of slightly off center.
Showing a little extra shoulder. Alright.
She's going to put her hands in front of her, and she's going to lean over, make sure that she's got lots of cleavage showing, right? Sir, my friends and
Does the
I...
elbow thing.
Yeah.
I use that all the time, just so you know. Get you
are
discounts at coffee
passing
shops.
through town, and we heard that you were all having a slight problem with your irrigation.
Alright. We've been having problems with my pipes.
Well,
You wouldn't
friends and I
happen to
think
know
that-
about such things, would you? As
as
he
a
kind
matter
of
of
looks
fact,
you
I
up and
would.
down with a curious eyebrow raise.
As a matter of fact, I know lots of things about pipes and irrigation.
Really? Well, if you're interested, I would certainly be willing to pay for your services to take care of the problem.
If you don't mind the gauche question, about how much would you pay?
Well, going rate for a skilled labourer. He goes, 2 gold a day. I'd be willing to pay 3 times that, 6 gold a head.
Well, how about if I were to say that my friends and I would take half of that in exchange for you to introduce us to someone who might procure horses, if you'll forgive me eavesdropping.
Ed in Hayford, very popular fellow. I would more than happily make introduction, and let's just say that me and Edin have an understanding. He owes me
I'm
a
sure
few
you do.
favors. Not that kind of understanding. I'm happily married. Don't you go spreading rumors like that to Gaia. I'll never hear the end of it.
It's not.
But no, he owes me a few favors, and with the right leverage, I'm sure I could get him to sell you a few of his fine horses. What the what? For a more than reasonable sum. Titchery, thank you for resubbing.
Woo!
Thanks, Tishri.
Half a year.
Resub hype, thank you for that. And boss 1234 100, thank you for that follow. He says, a couple of days ago, 3 fellers came into town. Well, 2 fellas and a woman. I put the word out that I had a lucrative job. They came up from Kanduin. I paid them in advance. They told me that they would need supplies. And I actually, to be fair, they did talk me into paying a little bit more than that. I was going to pay them a total of 50 gold, but in light of the fact that you want the introduction to the horses, I dare say I can get considerably more than 50 gold knocked off for you where Edit is concerned. So,
That would be very much appreciated, sir. I'm sure we can solve your irrigation problem.
well, why don't you invite your friends over then, and we can discuss it.
Absolutely, sir. Please excuse them. They are a bit shy, and...
Oh, trust me, miss, in my line of work and the things I've done in my past, I've dealt with all sorts.
Alright, at this, Lilith is kind of going to glance over her shoulder and give everybody the wave over.
Alright.
As they come up, she's going to introduce them. So, I myself, I go by Evelyn, or Eve for short.
Benham, nice to meet you, ma'am.
These are my friends here. Cucumber, she prefers to go by that. I scarcely know why, but
Right.
it
He
seems to make
raises an eyebrow, but really doesn't seem that bothered by that. Pseudonym.
She's going to
I'm
motion
actually-
to Algor.
I'm actually a farm girl, so, it's okay. And Liv just takes on a country accent because...
I'm sure there's a story associated with you being a farm girl and the name Cucumber. Whatever it
Sure.
is. Let's just say And he kind of looks at Emlyn with a weird look, glances up at the size of Tolgar. He says, "Look, I am a simple farmer. I haven't always been a simple farmer. And quite honestly, when it comes to this community, I put it first, foremost, and above everything. You don't have to be a genius to know that you're not the average bunch of travelers. In fact, I do seem to remember hearing something along the lines of, well, doesn't really matter. Point being, I really don't give two rat shits about anything else except this irrigation problem getting solved. Take care of that."
With that, Lilith's kind of going to drop the sweet act and say, "Well, then that makes things a lot easier because we're just here to do the job and get the what is the word I'm looking for? Get the compensation promised."
And piss off.
Precisely.
Sounds fair to me. Just for common sense purposes and to make sure that everything goes according to plan, is there any reason that I shouldn't mention to the authorities that you were here? As I said, I'm a plain-speaking man. And this is not any kind of trick. Just want to know.
Well, sir, we won't step on any toes in this town as long as... Yeah, maybe sight of us was never a topic.
Sounds fair to me. Can't guarantee that others might not say anything, but if anything is raised an eyebrow or I'm asked any questions, I'll, well, let's just say, if these crops don't get watered, this town's going to be in a heap of trouble, and everybody in it, all 64 of them, look to me to solve it. If the only way to solve the problem is to do business with some people that might be I don't want to say unscrupulous, but dubious, I don't care.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking, are you just assuming, or do you know who we are?
I heard a rumor, something a while ago. There were some people talking about some huge brutish fellow and a couple of women and some fellow with horns. I heard something about... Good. I don't exactly know details, but I heard something about you, you somehow survived a shipwreck and was on your way to Caesarion. Whatever you did to be sent there, as I said, I don't care, as long as you don't mess with me or mine. You understand?
Completely understood.
You have my word.
Take care of the problem. I'll get you your horses, and we'll get you out of town and on your way as quickly as possible.
So what about this irrigation? Is there anybody around here that would want to stop that?
As she starts talking, Lil's gonna be like...
I think you can drop the fake accent.
Dang.
What we just said.
It's this little throb right here.
So
he says, "Yes, I don't need any pretenses. We're all going to speak as plain as, well, as plain as dirt. If you can solve my problem, I don't care."
Okay, so is there anybody that would be interested in damaging your crops and fields? Is that perhaps the reason that these are damaged in the first place?
If you wanted to damage crops and fields, there'd be a much more direct way to do it in this sort of heat. No, I don't think it's something as subtle as that.
Gore, did you just flick me off?
Not that I think of.
I think he totally just flicked me off.
Huh?
You scratched your nose. It was funny.
Sorry. Okay. I didn't intend to. If it was an accident, I'm sorry. Might have been one of these things.
It was hilarious.
Okay, I do apologize.
I was like, great. Yeah,
awesome. He says, nope. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's probably just something as simple as well, I don't know, rodents, cave-in, who
Frogs,
knows?
Things like that.
Okay, and nobody else has looked at it?
Well, as I said to your friend here, I did send word to Kanduin. A couple of days ago, they sent 3 people up. I paid them in advance. They went about their job, went over to the cornfields, they said. They were going to head over there and take a look first. And then they hightailed it out of town, money and all, and we have not seen them since.
Okay, so nobody from this town has done any pressure checks or has tried any line testing
Oh, well, there's
at all?
nothing as sophisticated as that, I'm afraid. No, the irrigation that I know of, they dug underground tunnels from the pond. Here, hang on a second. He reaches into his upper pocket and pulls out a piece of paper. He begins to unfold it, and he lays it down on the table in front of you.
Okay.
I get to see some paper.
Paper, yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
He says, well, this is a rough sketch of the town itself. We're here at the inn. He said, so you can see up here right next to the inn, the main pond. Well, we dug a tunnel that went from there to a man-made pond that I've got labelled here as a subsidiary pond. This one is primarily to feed the cattle, or to, water the cattle and the sheep and such. It goes down through the paddock and cut right through both the cornfields. Now, on the other side, it goes over and cuts down through the vegetable fields. Both of them seem to have dried up.
So, both pipes are clogged in both directions.
Well, I don't know if that's the deal, but water is not getting to the cornfield and it ain't getting to the veggie fields.
And it
I have to say-
simultaneously happened at the same time. It wasn't like one shut down at one time and the
Well,
other one backed up, or...
It's difficult to say because, of course, it's not the sort of thing you notice instantly. But knowing a fair bit about crops, vegetables, corn and stuff like that, I do believe the cornfield started to dry up before the vegetable fields. But probably only about a day.
It can't be a coincidence.
I don't think it's a coincidence at
and-
all.
These other hands fled town right after visiting the cornfield. I would say that would be our starting point.
Seems fair to me. Not here to tell you how to go about your business.
Did they stay at the inn, those other hands?
They stayed here that first night. I met with them that morning. We covered the cost of their room, and which, incidentally, if you do need to stay here this evening, I will do the same for you. Seems only fair. Yeah, they did that. I paid them. They left in good spirits. They said they were going to go and check the corn. Well, actually, they said they were going to go and check the ponds first, and then they were going to check the cornfields.
Did they look weird? Did they just seem like normal, average? Were they human, elf?
Oh, they were all humans.
Humans, of course. Nothing out of sorts about them, just regular people.
Yep. Seemed to know what they were talking about. Said that they were going to look for cave-ins. They said that they were going to check the water levels, asked me a bunch of questions. They said that, they asked if there's still water in the subsidiary pond, which I said the subsidiary pond actually has been rather full. Fuller than normal, to be honest.
Okay.
So they ascertained that the leg that runs from the main pond over here to the subsidiary pond, that's probably intact. Of course, I don't know.
Perhaps something in the cornfield spooked them.
It could be.
Okay.
Did they perhaps leave a name? What were they called? What were their names?
The main person I talked to, Derek, he said his name was. As I said, I'm not the most formal sort of person. It ain't like we put anything in writing. He introduced himself as Derek. I shook his hand and paid the man.
Gotcha. And they left during the middle of the night, took some horses?
No, not at all. They left during the day. Their horses, they never came in on any horses. They came up on the coach. I sent a coach down to get them.
You saw them leave? Or
No, never saw him leave, but after I paid him, we never saw him again, so I assumed that they took the money and sodded off.
And nobody around here has been frightened of anything around in that area?
Not that I know of.
Have you smelled anything funny?
We're
Nope.
just gonna quickly glance at Tolgar when he says this.
I haven't smelt nothing funny, no.
Do you realize they could have died?
Tolgar.
Irrigation is a funny thing, but I don't necessarily consider it dangerous work. Anyway,
You'd be surprised.
I do have several things to take care of around town, but if you would like to go and do whatever it is you do to fix irrigating things, go ahead and get it taken care of. Once I've confirmed that it's done, I'll take care of you and meeting Mr. Eden.
We'll probably need some provisions, the store, and things of irrigation nature to fix.
Well,
I think we should probably investigate before we make a list.
everything that
See
we
if we
have
can find
for
a
sale
problem.
here is over at Jen's General Store. If you need anything specific made, you can go and, well, you can talk to the smithy, but, you know, if you ask Arcale to make anything specific, if there's a cost attached, run it by me first.
Okay.
We should know.
My farm used to, whenever we had outside people come in, used to just run a tab. So I was wondering if perhaps you did the
Well,
same.
now here's the problem. I just got the shaft for 50 gold
Right.
by giving people money in advance, so I'm not, as they say, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you. So
Very
no
true.
offense,
Yeah,
but if you need anything
That
paid for,
is what they say.
you come and you come and talk to me first. I'll take care of it if it's reasonable and necessary.
Absolutely.
So let's find out what happened first.
Do we want to sleep first?
If you need to sleep, you sleep.
Well, still early. Not only that, it gets pretty hot out. It might not be a bad idea to go out in early evening and take a look in the fields.
Would you mind getting us a room now?
Well, get your own room and just tell them it's on me.
Okay.
And can we have the map?
Oh, by all means, here you go.
And out of character, I'm going to draw crop circles. Where I think crop circles are going to be.
All right, you should
already
be
got
able to
this,
access
guys.
that map by now clicking on it from the handout section.
Kids are
below
irrigation
your character
problems.
sheets.
They ran after
I'm
their
like, aliens are going to be here. This
Swing
is where
away.
The Yeti came from this way.
Alright, I would
All
probably
right.
get up and go get ourselves some rooms.
Okay, so yeah, not a problem. He'll hook you up with 4 rooms for the night or for the day. And when he looks at you and you tell him that the mayor said he'd pay for it, he's like, Benham Tollum said he'd, and you see Benham go, oh, fair enough then, not a problem.
Thank you.
Alright. Okay, so you have 4 rooms. I know Liv's plan is to go and
Catch
sleep
some
the
Z's.
day away.
Have to.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
Alright. Anybody not wanting to take advantage of this opportunity to actually rest?
I would, totally.
Yeah, Lilith's gonna go. She may not sleep, but she's definitely gonna go get some alone time.
Okay. Alrighty, so yes,
Oh my gosh,
congratulations.
did she
You
take
have
a
an
bath?
8-hour rest. You can have a bath here, absolutely.
Yes! Oh, she wants a bath, yes.
Yes, they will take care of a nice hot bath for you, no problem at all. Lilith's in heaven. With a particular type of soap. That they acquired
Uh-oh.
from a town kind of to the west of now. Alright, so yeah, you all get you can all basically finally get a good, comfortable 8-hour sleep in a real bed with real pillows and real blankets. So you get 20% plus 20% of your max hit points plus 5, and feel free to consider yourselves leveled from the last encounter. So you wake up. By the time you wake up, it's kind of like early evening, late afternoon, early evening. Let's see. Yeah, it's about mid-afternoon, about 4 o'clock for those of us that actually have clocks and watches and know how to tell time.
Okay.
So, yeah. But after a good rest, so Liv, of course,
Emlyn
you
would
are,
take a bath too. So, yeah,
feel
we're
free
happy.
as Liv to decide what you think might be necessary for your spell choices for the day. Other than that, you all feel great. So 20% plus 5, plus your hit point, your Constitution bonus,
And we are level 5 now.
and you are level 5
Woohoo!
officially. Yes, officially 5th level.
Yay. Okay.
Liv, does Olivia, does Mr. Hoots see anyone outside we should be wary of?
We'll close our eyes for a minute and concentrates on Mr. Hoots.
All right. Hoots has seen a few people coming and going, but he definitely hasn't seen the bounty hunters. Hasn't seen any guards. You know, you get the set. There's no sense coming from him that there's anything that might be an immediate threat to you. He hasn't got. There's no surprise and alarm coming from him at all.
Everything seems to be okay. No.
That being said, you know, you do have to realize, of course, you know, time is ticking along, and those bounty hunters, unless they've been arrested and locked up themselves, at some point
They're still pursuing us.
they're out there. They're out there somewhere.
They're out there.
All right, let's get on with this
Okay.
quest of ours.
All
Oh,
right.
wait. You know what? Before we slept, Emlyn, were you 100% healed?
Oh, hell
And-
no.
Tolgar?
I am
No.
a little bit injured still. You can tell see by some bruises, but I can survive on this.
He's roughed up, but he's not in bad shape.
Before I rest, I could probably use 2 healings to then rest.
You could do
We
that.
No.
already rested. So,
I'm fine. I only have a few off right
Okay.
now.
All right then.
yeah.
All right. So, I mean, are you down any, Liv?
I'm good. I'm back to normal.
Okay, then. All right. So where do you want to start? Irrigation, the sort of thing that all known criminals are known to get into. Of all things that you could be doing as criminals, working on a farming irrigation thing.
I
Who
want
would've
Junk
thunk it?
Farmer to come on as a special guest for next
Yeah, there you go.
cornfields, right?
Yeah,
The
I think we're going to
cornfields.
cornfields. Yeah.
It's the last place that they were seen.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, you notice that a lot of people, the top cornfield has gotten. It seems to be almost like village idiocy in its finest.
Oh, that was
Oh my god. Was that
Oh.
a cat?
No,
Bless you.
that's a spook sneeze. They are the cutest thing ever. I'm
Bless
just gonna
you.
say.
Oh my lord.
They sound like a
That was
Pikachu
real.
going pop. But basically, yeah, the top cornfield looks in a lot better shape than the bottom cornfield. It's almost as if each day they're doing the best job they can to just worry about the top cornfield because they can't possibly do enough to save both. So they're like, it's almost like they've given up on the bottom cornfield and said, we're going to do everything we can on the top cornfield. So that's where all the buckets of water have been going, obviously.
Okay.
Oh my god, Spook swallowed a kitten.
Alright, so we're looking at the cornfield and we're looking at the map and we're doing a little comparison. We're going to follow the path of the irrigation.
Okay, so that would, if you're going to follow it from the upper thing right here, so it pretty much kind of sort of goes like this.
Okay. And what does it look like? Is it just really dry in this area?
It is dry, yes.
Is there any pipes exposed?
There is no actual pipes that you can see. Everything would have been buried, everything is buried underground for sure.
Can't have people exposing your pipes.
I know, right?
Let's
So
go
where do you want to
the,
start? The bottom dry cornfield or the top cornfield?
I would say let's go to the pond where the beginning of this
Emlyn is just following Liv because she knows more about this than he does.
Okay.
Okay.
So did the people flee the corn area? Is that what they said?
He said that they, from what he understood, when they left him, they said they were going to go and check the ponds. Then they were going to go and check the cornfields. That's the last thing he saw of them. Then they left town. He's assuming, of course. He never saw them.
He's assuming they checked the cornfields.
Well, he may be assuming that they said they were going to do all those things and left the tavern and immediately left with his gold. Who knows? He thinks basically they did nothing, that they stole the money and ran.
So Lilith is going to look through the cornfield as Liv is examining for irrigation-y things.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Which cornfield, if you're going to start at the cornfield, which one are you going to go for?
I'm going to do the closest one here. Is there any people around it?
Not now, no, because it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People are long since done messing with this. All day they were probably watering this top field, but there's nobody down here at the bottom cornfield. Let's do a thing. Because,
A thing?
it's Howreroll, so we have to have a map for absolutely bloody everything, including a cornfield.
Is it a corn maze? Oh,
just a heads up, if we see any blonde children, I am running.
With blue piercing eyes.
Okay, so yeah, there's the expanse of the cornfield. Now, the corn here, it's tall, but it is kind of thin, it is dry. The corn is kind of wilty and small and just drying up. So, like, to move north and south, you're literally like pulling your way through the corn rows. But there are rows, so you can go up and down fairly easily. But bear in mind on the map, if you are in a different row, you can't necessarily see anybody else. You can hear them, but you can't see them.
Okay.
This is to scale, right?
Yes.
And okay.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you want to go about checking the field?
Split up.
Oh, I have hoots above.
I hate to say it. Okay.
Do you want to do a call out? Do you want to set a call out?
Marco.
Koyo.
Okay.
Ouch.
So, Spook, it looks like you're going down to the southern end of the...
She's going down to the southern end, Jess.
Go down to the southern end.
She's going to, be looking for any signs of... If she can possibly find signs of a struggle after people have been tromping through here.
Right. Okay.
Looking for anything out of the ordinary in a cornfield. I don't something that's not corn. I don't know.
Something that's not corn, right. Okay. What about everybody else?
You see a scarecrow that has a real body instead of,
right,
straw.
And it's dripping blood. And then you hear a...
Liv is gonna put her hands on the ground, feel the soil, taste the soil.
Okay. It's very dry. It's very dry.
It's very dry.
That's a 10.
It tastes... It tastes like under normal circumstances, it's good, rich soil. It would be good growing ground. But, it's not clayey or anything like that. It's good ground, but it's just too damn dry. Nothing could grow in it.
Did he go robotic for you or just me?
Just you.
Okay.
No? Okay, yeah.
I missed what you said, but I think I get the
basically,
gist.
yeah, it's really good it's really good nutrient soil if it was wet.
Emlyn is just practicing his hands judo chops. He's
Is there any...
completely oblivious to what's
your
going
Judy
on.
chop, you got your ninja chop.
He's just walking along the row.
Okay, so is that what you guys are going to do? Basically, just walk up and down looking?
Yeah.
I'm looking for indentations where I'm trying to follow the trail of the irrigation pipe. So I'm looking to see where it might dip down, or if maybe something's exposed or broken.
All right, make an observation check for me then. So perception,
and also,
please.
Hoots could probably look above too
Liv.
to see if there's any crop circles.
All right. There are no crop circles.
There's no aliens either?
No, sorry.
What is this about then?
Oh, there it is.
Natural 20!
On a super useless roll, but good job.
All right. Okay.
You find nothing.
No, you actually do find something. Well, first of all, you can see footprints. They're fairly fresh footprints. So, and there's like a set of 3 of them. However, there's a set of 3 at a very slow pace going in your direction, but there is one set coming back. You figure out that it is definitely the same set of boots as one of the three. So if you can imagine, you can see three sets of footprints heading in this direction. One of those sets of footprints came back, but when it came back, the stride was long, so it was running.
Okay.
Huh.
And what's that?
See, so it wasn't such a stupid roll after all.
What's that? I'm gonna use the spell. I didn't want to have to use this yet, but it seems like appropriate time. It is a new spell.
Okay.
And it is
Repair irrigation.
Yes.
What are the
Repair
odds?
irrigation. It fixes all pipes within 100 yards, and it also reinforces them.
It's
with
amazing
steel.
it's amazing how these druid spells are just so,
Yep.
So naturey,
Right, yeah.
Repair pipes. Like, holy
the
nature.
gnomes,
Yeah, no, what is
All
this?
right.
What are you going to use?
Speak with plants.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
That is
she
interesting.
focuses and she puts her hands on the earth and she feels the pulsating heartbeat of the world around her. So druid-like, right?
Right.
And I can actually communicate with the area, the plants, and see what they see.
Right. And it's like 30 foot around you, right?
She has
Okay.
the corn's ears.
Right. Oh, wah,
I have
wah.
the ears of the core.
Right. Okay. So
Oh, I hate you.
you can tell this much. The corn is dying. The plants are suffering. They're literally like, if to put it in words, it's like
God, that's horrible. Turn it off.
they're like dying. Clearly, they have major problems. It's like they're barely. Most of the ears of corn are already dead. It's only a few of them that seem to even be alive.
I can also see if anything has passed by them and what it has passed by. If a plant creature is in the area, plant entangled spell to release restrained creature. Oh, never mind, maybe not.
Yeah.
Hold on, gaining information about creatures that have passed. Yes.
You can talk to them as if you've got a common language with them. You can literally talk to the plants. You're like Dr. Doolittle, but with weeds.
She grabs a husk and she cleaves it to her chest. No, and you guys are all like, she's crazier than we thought. She's like whispering, silent, pressing things into the ear of the corn. What have you seen? What have you heard? Show me.
Okay.
Oh my cob.
Basically, it tells you that in plant language, that it saw 3 providers walking through its field. It barely was able to it was barely conscious. It was barely able to acknowledge them because it is so thirsty. It's dying of thirst. It hasn't had anything to drink in days. Most of its friends and brethren are dead.
It's a liar.
Clinging on there. Basically, yeah, it says 3 providers passed it. And then shortly afterwards, one of them came running back. And the provider was making a horrible wailing sound as it did so.
Has any other things been in this area?
All right. Okay.
She wants to see.
As you're doing that, you suddenly hear kind of like a gasp from somewhere further westward along the field. Lilith, as you are pondering and working your way through, you stumble across what appears to be partly obscured by a lot of trodden down corn.
Holy crap.
2 dead bodies.
So I'm stalking around them in the corn.
Yep. Not far from them, a large hole that looks like something burrowed into it.
Oh no.
There's piles of dirt that are like thrown up and around all the area. But go ahead. Well, before I say anything else, so that's what you see. It's a dead woman and a dead man.
Ooh.
Dressed fairly common-like. Okay, so you guys probably, as I said, as you're doing this, Liv, you're talking to the thing. You guys hear like a or something along the lines coming from further down the cornfield.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a small shriek.
I come running then.
Shh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna basically run. So you can dash. I'm not gonna say that moving through these dried cornfields are particularly hard terrain at this stage. They would have been if they were healthy, but.
Yes.
All right. So you're running. Emlyn, what are you doing?
I'm walking.
Right.
Very casually.
Right.
Dead
Liv,
people.
You still have your corn if you want to continue to talk to your ear of corn.
I didn't do this. They were here like this when I found them.
I didn't do
lean
this.
down and touch it to see how old
How
long
old
they've
it
been
is?
Dead. How old they are. How long they've been dead.
I'm 37. What? Okay. So yeah. So you guys are doing Liv. So you're back over there with your corn. Do you want to continue doing anything with that, or do you want to head over? Or
You know what? I didn't actually read this whole thing. Hold on a sec. A sentence. I've never used this one.
like you can't uproot the corn and it can't move with you. You can really just talk to it like it's an entity.
Limited sentences and animation, giving them the ability to communicate and follow your simple commands.
Weird.
You can, so they can't walk. They're not going to become. That'd be weird, right?
It says the spell doesn't enable plants to uproot themselves and move.
Oh, okay, because that would be kind of awesome.
But they can move like branches. In other words,
Oh, okay, I get you. They can bend and move,
Yeah.
but they can't like walk with me and be like, "Hey, I
so
got
you
a new
could
corn for a
order
pet."
a 30-foot radius of corn to like flock in around
Gotcha.
somebody, or
Right.
to
Got it.
stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I've never read this one, so I just kind of saw the title and skimmed it. And was like,
Sounded good, huh?
I was like, "Whoa, I can have a pet corn."
I can have a pet corn. Okay.
So Emlyn, upon seeing the bodies, is just gonna say, "Ah, shucks."
Wah, wah.
Jeez.
And he's gonna grin like really happily at himself
Really?
as he
That-
just watches.
Add to the conversation, Emlyn. Shucks.
I'm not a doctor. What do you expect of me?
Okay. So yeah, back to, so do you want to do anything else with the plants, Liv, or are you heading over there?
No, that's all the information I think she can. She thanks the plant, your corn.
But that pretty much
for
does tell
help.
you that one of them got away.
They didn't offer us cornbread at breakfast.
And she's probably crying because it affects her so deeply.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like thousands of dead lives all around you.
Yes.
Needless death of the poor corn people.
Well, I think we know where to go from here. And
Right.
I'm going to look towards the giant hole in the ground.
So she eventually catches over with you guys.
Okay, yeah, head on over. All right. So yeah, when you get there, you can see the two dead bodies. Tolgar, you wanted to kind of check one of the corpses, see how long it had been dead? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I was doing that.
Okay. In that case, then, go ahead and make a medicine check for me. Ha
Okay.
ha, indeed, yes.
Here we go. Oh, they're still alive!
Okay, checking their pulse that they don't have. You fumble around with your fingers. You just can't find that spot, you know. They feel cold to the touch. After looking, they're covered in dirt. It's like, oh, the hell with it. I don't know. They're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah, it's clear to the onlookers that Tolgar really was fumbling with that. He was like,
I want
Instead
to.
of saying, she's gonna be like, "Good job, Tolgar." And she's gonna be
Thanks.
sincere about it.
he's dead. It's worse than that. He's
Move
dead,
over and
Jim.
say,
Hey, Liv,
yeah, definitely.
why don't you send Hoots down there to see what if something happens?
Yes, no, not quite yet with the hoots and the happening. Let's investigate what might have. I did not want this.
My idea was sincere. Why are you dismissing it? It's an animal that can go down there without us going down there first.
Owls are good
Yes.
at nighttime.
They are very. Emlyn, your eyes are good at nighttime as well. Can you stick your head down there, perhaps?
I think the owl should go before the sexy tiefling.
I'm gonna look up at you at that.
I would like to investigate the bodies first to see if maybe there is bite marks or other things that might have
Go
killed
ahead.
them.
I already did, and they are dead.
They're definitely.
That's what I gathered
Did that.
from
See
them.
that they are definitely dead.
I know all there is to know about this body by tapping it on the head
Trust
twice.
me.
All right. Okay.
What did I just roll? I hit the wrong
You just
button.
rolled animal handling. Not quite sure why. Maybe. I mean, I get it. Tolgar is a bit of a
Wanna
beast.
Fight me, huh?
He can be a tough man. He is tough to handle.
That's what I totally was going for. No.
I think you wanna. I think you're really wanting to make a medicine check.
Medicine check or investigation is what I was going for.
If it's how he died or whatever, I would put that under medicine.
Okay.
Right.
And did it roll twice?
No,
No.
you're good.
It
Oh
rolled.
my god! It literally like the thing moved over and then it moved over again. So
Okay. No, it's.
stop hacking me. Whoever's
All right,
hacking, stop. Hack
You can
Razoring.
find no bite marks, you can find no scratch marks. It's really hard to see how these people died. There's nothing obvious. There's no blood. There is, however, some rudiments of some kind of slimy substance around their necks.
Do I think it's
Yeah.
from an
Slimy
animal or
pickles.
a
From an
plant?
animal? It's possible.
Animal, mineral, plant.
One of the above.
Do we really want to go down the rabbit hole, or do we want to ask the town folk to see if they have seen the rabbit hole? And do we want to check the bodies for anything else?
I'm sure they would have seen the hole. If they had seen the hole, they would have seen these bodies.
Right. But they hadn't really been coming down to the southern cornfield, so they may not have discovered them. And unless you actually came all the way into the middle of the cornfield and, you wouldn't have found it either. You couldn't see it for sure.
She sends dancing lights down the hole.
Alrighty.
And she has Hoots hover above the hole, not in the hole.
Okay. So you're going to cast Dancing Lights and send that
So,
down?
yes, she's
All
going to
right.
send those down, and then Hoots is going to look for her and see what he can see.
Alright. Well, the hole goes down at a kind of a semi-steep angle and then goes along. So Hoots can't really see very far. Not from the top of the hole.
You know, guys, there's probably other holes. Maybe we should try to find where this one is going to, smoke it out, kill it out, instead of going in after it.
Yes,
Do you wanna
need
try
a
to
new
s-
lantern also.
How much time do we
set it on
have
fire.
to hunt this thing? I mean,
Wait, you guys want to set a fire in a hole over a cornfield?
No, so
No.
another hole. We should find maybe where this one went to. I mean,
Oh, fair enough.
we don't want to go into this hole. We don't
Don't
want to
we?
set fire here.
Isn't that the natural thing to do?
It's a big hole. Like, it's big enough to go down. We're not talking a rabbit hole here. We're talking
but
something about...
we need a source of
5 foot
light
across.
if we're going into the hole.
We have
Yes.
lights. I have lights.
Mhm.
We have torches. We have lights.
It's big enough for us to walk down in.
It's about 5 foot diameter, yeah.
Let's go into a hole.
This was no bunny. unless it was that bunny. With big, nasty, pointy teeth.
Tolgar,
This is going to risk our lives.
horses.
We said we would get rid of the irrigation problem.
There's more than 50% chance that there is something dangerous in this hole. For sure. There's 2 people dead here. Are you ready for that, or should we keep exploring to find other holes like Liv is saying? I don't think it's a bad idea.
If we find the other holes, we might be able to plug this hole up, set fire, or something.
Well, this is a pretty big hole. Can Hoots find another one? Like around us somewhere?
an area. You can look.
If
yeah.
he knows what he's looking for now, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if
That's the hole.
he starts flying low and,
All right, send hoots.
All right. Okay. So
But not in Hoot's like grabbing range.
Right. Yeah. You want him like. Okay. Well, it takes him about 5 minutes to pretty much like scour the cornfields. He does not find any other large holes at all. This is it. Curious.
You think it's coming from the water side?
Wouldn't there be water coming through here?
No, it's too far out. I don't know. Do we want to see how far down this hole goes? I'm gonna like put a light down there and see how far it drops.
Emlyn is just looking at Tolgar.
Emma, we could all just jump down. I mean, you know, break our ankles. It could be like a 100-foot drop. I mean,
Well, we see that
it's
it goes
an
down
incline.
steep and then turns. So
Yeah.
we need to go down there to see how much farther it goes. Unless you do send your owl in.
we're gonna need another Hoots.
I heard it's not very hard to bring him back. Is that true?
Not very hard. It's kind of disappointing.
So what's the problem? Just do it. It's expendable.
I need 10 gold and a whole bunch of other equipment.
You'll take it from the purse. The coin purse of the guy.
I'll donate a couple gold if Hoots dies.
Emlyn just laughs. Emlyn just laughs and kind of goes like this. Not donating a thing.
All right.
She sends Hoots down.
Alrighty. Okay.
Reluctantly.
She pouting.
Hoots
No,
goes
Lilith
down.
kinda gives,
It's
gives
very
Liv
dark
kind
down
of
there.
A console look.
Okay. It's very dark down there. The tunnel actually goes left and right. So it goes north. It kind of goes east and west. So whatever it was dug down into here, but it seems like it broke into another tunnel. However, the tunnel below it is not like a dirt burrow tunnel. It looks like it dug its way down into an irrigation pipe.
What is so the pipe looks like it's broken?
No, but there's no water running through it at all.
How big is it that...
Almost as big as this, about 5 by... no, it's actually bigger. It's almost like a... it's almost literally like a 10 by... Almost like a... it's not 10. It's about 5 by 5, yeah. It's about a 5 by 5 circular tunnel.
So we could fit in there.
You could fit in it, yes. Again, for some of you, there's a little bit of stooping involved, but you can definitely fit.
So repairing these is going to do no good as long as this creature is still here, or whatever it is.
Yep. So
Obviously, something is still blocking the water flow because it is not coming down.
Looks like we're going on a hunt.
she
Oh,
ports
no.
Hoots
What?
back. She ports him back
Okay.
before anything can happen to him.
I-
She pocket ports.
Right.
Thank you, Liv.
He
Lilith
appears.
is going to look at Tolgar and say, something that makes a hole that big has got to be quite a
Some
trophy.
little kid comes running out of the cornfield and throws a red and white ball at Hoots.
Pidgey!
No!
Okay.
Ladies first.
What a gentleman. Lilith is going to cautiously be like, I just took a bath. And she start down into the hole.
All right. So Lilith begins to descend down into the hole. All right. Well, guess what? That's the perfect time to stop things for this evening. Hi there, I'm Gorbad. Welcome to the Orc's Nest. I'm the Dungeon Master here on Howreroll, and if you'd like to follow me personally, you can do so on Twitter at Gorbad. Check out thedmblog.com for all things Dungeon Master and Dungeons & Dragons related. And of course, you can follow me on twitch.tv/Gorbad. Also, guys, don't forget to keep up with all things Howreroll. Follow us on Twitter at Howreroll. Check out the website www.howreroll.com, and make sure you follow us on YouTube as well. Cheers, guys.
I'm the Dragon Spooker, and I play Femme Fatale Lilith Edenwood the Dancer. You can follow me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/thedragonspooker, or on Twitter at DragonSpooker. You guys rock my face off, and I can't wait to see you next stream.
Look, I get it. I'm not as cool as Emlyn, the tiefling warlock I play for Howreroll. The dude has 20 charisma. And, well, you guys have seen how I roll. If you suffer from character is cooler than you-itis, maybe we can help each other. Follow me on Twitter at ineb_convos. Maybe make a moderate difference. Let's do this, guys.
Hello and well met. My name is Liv on Howreroll. And when I'm not Liv on Howreroll, I'm Amanda or DM Dicers on Twitter. I have an up-and-coming new podcast called Dead Dice Society you'll be sure not to want to miss. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wrath of the Fallen. I'm Jane, and you can follow me on Twitter, the only place where it counts, at Jane on Twitch. That's with a 0, not an O. Peace, suckers!